Man, who knew we were going to have such great big news after the show today? Oh, wait, I did. As a matter of fact, it was me that called it. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Oh, we got a lot of great stuff to talk about today, folks, as we head into day 3 of the DNC, something we like to call Bill Clinton's Bloodbath. It's going to be a bloodbath on stage. It's going to be nuts today. Where am I? There I am. Hi. Hey, look, a long time no see. It's been I hope everybody got some food since we last, since we adjourned. I hope everybody got, maybe took a little power nap. I hope that everybody, I took a shower. I feel nice and clean and refreshed. I put on some deodorant. And man, we're going to have so much fun today. First of all, great big news. I don't know if you know this or anything. And the Rush Limbaugh School of Broadcasting, who remembers, by the way, rule number 1 in the Rush Limbaugh School of Broadcasting? Just me? Who remembers Rush Limbaugh School of Broadcasting? Rule number 1 is what? Rule number 1 is if you predict something and later on it comes true, make sure you go back and refresh everyone's memory and let them know you predicted it first. And ladies and gentlemen, today on the show, we discussed this dream team, if you will. We discussed this master combination of RFK Jr. and DJT Senior, and putting them together to just obliterate any chance that Kamala Harris or whatever you call her, Mamala Harris and Tim Walz have of winning the presidency, which is getting smaller and smaller by the day. And in fact, it wasn't even today. It was 6 days ago. What was 6 days ago? Last Thursday? 6 days ago. Mark Kaye Saves the Republic was called, spoiler alert, RFK Jr. will decide who wins. And ladies and gentlemen, today, RFK Jr. has decided that he would like Donald John Trump to win the presidency. He has decided that he is going to extricate himself from the race. He is going to cancel his entire campaign. He's going to pull the plug on RFK Jr. for president. And not only that, he is going to throw his support behind Donald Trump. And they're going to do all that on Friday. Now, this is important for a couple of reasons, and we'll get to all those here in just a minute. But we would like to remind you that it is day 3. Is that Keenan? Do that. I think, in fact, I know we're not going to do that. But listen, here's the thing. RFK Jr., and we talked about it today, and we predicted it last week, is going to decide the winner of the election. And he's decided it's Donald Trump, which is a good decision. And there was this big back and forth. Apparently, the rumor was that he approached the Kamala Harris campaign to see if there was a way they could work together. And the Kamala Harris campaign said, nah, we good, thanks. So then he had this long diatribe on Twitter where he excoriated Kamala Harris. He went after, you think Donald Trump is mean? Holy shnikes, this guy just ripped her campaign, her agenda, her lack of agenda, her lack of qualification with Mindy Kaling. I'm a big fan of The Office. Mindy Kaling was not just one of the actresses. She was the producer, writer. I love a good comedian. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I assume if you're in the entertainment industry, you're a Democrat. I do like the dig on Nancy Pelosi wanting to be the ambassador to Italy. And holy cow, I had no idea she was a single mom of 3 kids. That is insanity. Anyway, oh wait, who's coming out now? Oh wait, I can't hear them. Oh my gosh, it's Hakeem Jeffries. You know what's annoying about Hakeem Jeffries is I have those same shoes. Now I have to throw them away. I have those same shoes. Oh.
It's a high honor.
We'll get back to the
distinct privilege.
We'll get back to the news about RFK in just a minute.
New Yorker, and as an American, to stand before you today and unequivocally express my support for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to be the next president and vice president of the United States of America.
I was wondering where they'd been hiding Hakeem Jeffries, by the way.
Over the last few years,
I'm a little shocked it took him this long to haul him out.
Have been hard at work, and we could not have asked for a better leader to partner with than President Joseph Robinette Biden, who will go down as one of the most consequential presidents of all time.
He will, look, he'll go down all right, but only because he tripped on a sandbag.
President Biden selflessly passed the torch to Vice President Kamala Harris, who is ready, willing, and able to fight for the people. Kamala Harris is a courageous leader, a compassionate leader, and a common sense leader
yeah, he is, isn't he?
Deliver real results for everyday Americans.
He's trying to be Obama
Kamala
Jr.
Harris is fighting for our freedom.
OBJ.
Kamala Harris is fighting for our families. Kamala Harris is fighting for our future. Together, let's make Kamala Harris the 47th President of the United States of America.
Now he's trying to be Jay-Z. Now he's trying to drop that beat. He did that whole thing before where he likes to rhyme things in his
great country.
In his press conferences.
When you work hard.
That's what happens. You got failed bartenders in AOC. You got failed rappers in Hakeem Jeffries.
A living wage.
You got failed dosa makers.
You deserve to have an affordable place.
I'm sorry, sloppy
to call
dosas.
home. You deserve to educate your children in a great public school that is free from gun violence. And you deserve high quality, affordable health care, and you deserve the chance to one day retire with grace and with dignity.
Retire. Retire is retire. It's two syllables. Retire.
People
it's two, right? Country, retire. I got to check that.
They are struggling to live paycheck to paycheck. And as a result, the American dream is out of reach. Here's the thing. Extreme MAGA Republicans don't care about everyday Americans.
This is why he's hitting the same thing. He's hitting the same. The American dream is so out of reach under Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. The American dream is so out of reach for so many people under Kamala Harris. The American dream is so out of reach. But the Republicans don't care about the American people? The Republicans are going to fight hard for the American people?
The American dream is alive and well in every single community.
You haven't been doing it for 3.5 years.
Will not be easy.
Why are we supposed to believe that?
Which brings me to you-know-who. Donald Trump.
There it is.
Is like an old boyfriend.
Let's not talk about the border.
Who you broke up with.
Let's not talk about the economy.
But he just won't go away.
Let's not talk about crime.
He has spent the last 4 years spinning the block.
Let's not talk about Ukraine.
Trying to get back into a relationship
Hamas.
With the American people. Bro, we broke up with you for a reason. Trump was the mastermind of the GOP tax scam, where 83% of the benefits went to the wealthiest 1% in America. Trump failed our country during the COVID-19 pandemic. Trump is a chaos agent who is focused on himself, not the American people. Trump tried to destroy our democracy by lying about the election and inciting a violent mob to attack the Capitol. Trump put 3 extreme justices on the Supreme Court who destroyed Roe v. Wade. We broke up with you for a reason. Donald Trump can spin the block all he wants, but there's no reason for us to ever get back together. Been there, done that.
This guy.
We're not going back.
They want this guy to be Speaker of the House. Could you imagine? By the way, they did a montage. They did a little pre-recorded video montage on January 6th, and they edited out the line peacefully and patriotically protest. They just edited it out entirely. Selective editing, we call it.
Kamala Harris and House Democrats
here comes the Kamala
will
part.
fix our broken immigration system and secure the border.
They haven't already.
Kamala Harris and House Democrats
What are you waiting for?
The relationship between the police and the community.
Kamala Harris and House Democrats haven't done jack crap in 3 years.
With the fierce urgency of now.
Kamala Harris and House Democrats have left the border wide open for fentanyl, drug traffickers, and human traffickers to walk right across, even though she has been named the border czar for almost 4 years and has done absolutely nothing about it. And we are all less safe, and we are all border communities, we are all sanctuary cities, and we have no recourse, and there is no reason for us to keep her in power after she has done absolutely nothing for the last 4 years. Thank you.
The extreme MAGA Republicans.
Extreme MAGA Republicans
want to divide us. But the Constitution promises equal protection under the law. We are one nation.
Unless you're Donald
under
Trump.
God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Together,
I'm shocked he knew that, by the way. I'm shocked any Democrat could quote the Constitution of the United States.
Let's build a brighter future for our children and our grandchildren. In the Old Testament, book of Psalms.
Oh, now he's in the Bible.
The scripture tells us that weeping may endure.
Wow, the Bible and the Constitution.
Long night, but joy will come in the morning.
Of course, joy will come in the morning.
Here's how we do it. Strategize on Sunday. Meet the moment on Monday. Take it to them on Tuesday. Work it out on Wednesday. Thank the Lord on Thursday. Fight the power on Friday. Set it off on Saturday. Get a few hours of sleep. Wake up the next day and do it all over again until joy comes in the morning.
You know what's so funny? You know what's so funny about that speech?
76 days left. There are only 76 days left. We must continue to speak up. We must continue to show up. We must continue to stand up, not as Democrats or Republicans, but as Americans. And when we do, nothing can stop Kamala Harris from becoming the 47th President of the United States of America.
Except
nothing can stop House Democrats from taking back the majority. Nothing can stop the American people from continuing our march toward a more perfect union. Nothing can stop us. We're all the way up. God bless you.
Man.
God bless Kamala Harris. May God bless the United States of America.
You know what's so funny about that? I'll give it up for Hakeem Jeffries. You know what's so funny about that speech? He had so many words and said absolutely nothing. I love the Monday through Friday thing. Do it all on Sunday. Joy's going to come in the morning. He's quoting the Bible. He's quoting the scripture. He's quoting the Constitution accurately. He's getting up there with his urban beats like he's from the streets, but he's got his suit on and he's singing a Kamala song and he's rolling with the crowd and he's saying it out loud and joy will come in the morning. And I love it. I was into it. I was really into it. But when you sit back and you think about what he said, when you sit back and you go over it all in your head, he said absolutely nothing, which is actually exactly what you would expect from somebody speaking on behalf of Kamala Harris, who has also said nothing. All right, let's get back to RFK for just a minute because it's very exciting. RFK Jr. on Friday, we're going to have an extended show because RFK Jr., whether he took my advice or he just took his own advice or Donald Trump was able to finagle some kind of deal with him, RFK Jr. on Friday is going to have a live event and he is going to announce that he is withdrawing from the election. And no time like the present too, because get this, you have this ballot initiative battle that they're doing in Philadelphia. They're doing this ballot initiative in Pennsylvania, and they've taken him off the ballot, and he's suing to come back on the ballot. But we don't actually want him on the ballot in Philadelphia because we don't want people getting confused. If you're on the ballot and you withdraw from the election, there are times when you may actually stay on the ballot, and you don't want people having the option to vote for you. You want RFK Jr. off the ballot, especially in the swing states, especially in Pennsylvania, and you want him telling all of his little RFK Jr.ites to vote for Donald Trump, support Donald Trump. You want everyone in the RFK Jr. camp to know we're throwing our support behind Team Trump, and that's exactly what's going to happen on Friday. And man, Kamala Harris, they're not going to tell you this publicly. They're going to brush it under the rug. They're going to say this is a desperate move by a desperate man. Of course, he realized he was failing in his presidential bid. He realized he couldn't beat Kamala Harris, so he's throwing in with the devil. They're going to come up with all these lines, but they know this is the beginning of the end. They know this is the beginning of the end.
Welcome the 42nd President of the United States, Bill Clinton.
There we go, folks. It's Clinton time. Let's take a look at Bill Clinton. Let's see how he's looking. Wow, he looks a little dodgy. Yeah, he looks better than Biden. He's 77 years old, this guy. He's looking around for the interns. Hide your daughters. I guess hide your wives, too. I guess hide your granddaughters at this point, because... Man, he had he got a little bit of a glow up. Is that Botox or is that a brow lift? What is that he's got there? Oh, there's Bill Clinton. All right, here he is. He definitely had he's got the Kenny Rogers eyes. R.I.P. He's got the Kenny Rogers eyes, so obviously he had some kind of lift around this area of his face.
Thank you.
Oh, he's still doing this number.
Whoa.
Still don't know what this is. This is like George Bush did this thing, too. Wow.
Let me ask you something.
Well, no, he's going off script already.
After the last 2 days, aren't you proud to be a Democrat?
Not the line I thought he would have led with.
And I am very grateful to the Republicans and independents that have joined us, have been up here on the stage. And I hope they feel better about it now.
Oh,
Because
this is not going to go well.
I've seen all these things that even I have to be reminded of from time to time when I get my spirits down.
Oh, no.
I love seeing the Obamas here. I love seeing President Biden. And
oh, no.
I thought Hillary gave a great speech, too. And
I was wondering what he was going to say about that.
But I love seeing all these young leaders. A bunch of them are coming up after me. They look better, they sound better.
That's true.
And they'll be exciting.
Oh, so far
I do want to say one word about
Monica.
President Biden.
Oh, right.
Remember.
Okay, that's one word.
He had an improbable.
That was one word. Liar.
Turn.
What?
That made him president. And we were in the middle of a pandemic and an economic crash. He healed our sick and put the rest of us back to work.
This is not going well at all.
And
this is not going well at all.
He strengthened our alliances for peace and security. He stood up for Ukraine. He's trying desperately to get a ceasefire in the Middle East.
This is.
And then he did something that's really hard for a politician to do. He voluntarily gave up political power. And
I mean, voluntarily? Is that the story we're trying to sell people? We're going with voluntarily,
knew
huh?
That,
okay. All right.
And he did it.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Stop.
And he set the
I'm
standard
sorry. We're
for
not
us serving 2 terms before it was mandatory.
We're not comparing Joe Biden to George Washington, are we?
It helped his legacy. And it will enhance Joe Biden's legacy. And you.
I mean, maybe you should have followed that one-term legacy. It was that second term that done you in.
It's a stark contrast to what goes on in the other party.
Is it?
So I want to thank him for his courage, compassion, his class, his service, his sacrifice.
Did he not watch the speech? Because there wasn't a lot of class in that barn burner of a speech. But okay, fine.
Thank you.
Oh, back to the thank you, Joe.
And
guys, they got rid of the signs already. There's no more signs. Signs are gone.
He kept the faith, and he's infected a lot of the rest of us.
With COVID.
Now let's cut to the chase.
Oh, okay, all right.
I am too old to gild the lily.
That's what I was saying. He doesn't care at all.
2 days ago, I turned 78, the oldest man in my family.
Yikes, he's 78? Holy cow. I thought he was 77. Now he's 78.
And the only personal vanity I want to assert is I'm still younger than Donald Trump.
Yeah, but you act a lot older.
Last night.
Man, I'd rather be Donald Trump's age with his energy than Bill Clinton's age with his energy. Or his baggage.
In what I thought was a very moving series of episodes, we nominated Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. And
what kind of episodes was he talking about?
Just think about that. 2 leaders with all-American but still improbable life stories.
He looks 79, which is weird. He usually looks 69.
It can only happen here. Their careers, after all, started in community courtrooms and classrooms.
Set me up, Jenna.
2 leaders who spent a lifetime getting the good job done. Now, one of the things that I've noticed over my increasingly long life,
thank God he said life.
The presidential election is unique in several ways. First of all, it's the greatest job interview for the greatest job in the world. Secondly,
this is definitely not the Bill Clinton of old.
The Constitution says
this is just
we,
old
the
Bill
people,
Clinton.
get to do the hiring.
And
the third thing
That's a good one. I got to write that one down for tomorrow.
That every 4 years, we get to change the requirements for the job.
What is he? Oh, no. What did I say?
So
not
here's what I'm thinking.
The Bill Clinton of old.
Because I try to apply this in every election.
Just
Will this
old
president
Bill Clinton
take us backward or forward? Will this president give our kids a brighter future?
Are we talking about who are we talking about? Trump? Yes.
Depends. Will this president bring us together or tear us apart? Will the president increase the peace, security, and stability and freedom that we enjoy and extend it to others as we can? We, the people, we have to make a decision about these kind of questions. And every 4 years, it's a little different because the people come at the candidates, and they say, as they're saying now, here are our problems.
Yeah.
Solve them. Here are our opportunities. Seize them. Here are our fears. Ease them.
Ease them. Oh, that was good. That was a good one.
Here are our dreams. Help them come true.
Wow. You know, if Bill Clinton were this way when he was president, who are these people? Oh, these people don't know what they're doing. Half of these people, by the way, have no idea who this is.
Call.
You realize half the people in that room are so young that they don't know who Bill Clinton is.
But you have to help me. We have to work together.
They don't know that there was a president before Barack Obama. A lot of them know Barack Obama, maybe George Bush. They were probably born during the George Bush years. And that's it. They're like, who's this old guy? He was president? And then someone goes, he's the guy that got the Hummer in the Oval Office. And they're like, oh, that's the guy? Who's giving that guy, the old guy, a Hummer? That's what they're thinking.
Kamala Harris for the people.
Can you say Hummer? What are you supposed to say, like H2 now? Is that what it is? Is that the new term? H2. He got an H2 in the Oval Office.
The other guy who's proved, even more than the first go-around, that he's about me, myself, and I. I know which one I like better for our country.
I don't understand.
Kamala Harris
I don't understand what's happening.
will work to solve our problems, seize our opportunities, ease our fears,
and make sure every single one of our dreams comes true.
However they vote, has a chance to chase their dreams.
This is the speech that Pedro gave in Napoleon Dynamite. Vote for me, and I will make all your dreams come true.
Was young,
wait, I'll make your wildest dreams come true. He's given the Pedro Napoleon Dynamite speech.
And she greeted
Monica's going to come out in a minute and do the dance.
Smile and said,
"How
can I help you?"
Sorry.
Now she's at the pinnacle of power, and she's still asking, how can I help you?
If only she were helping. A question arose. There was a photo of Bill Clinton and Kamala Harris back when she was a prosecutor in San Francisco. And the question was asked, did Bill and Kamala ever...
as the president who spent the most time at McDonald's.
What do we think? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Did Bill and Kamala, did they have a fling? I don't know. I don't know the answer. I'm just asking.
But we got an election to win.
What did he say? His voice cracked.
And remember, we've got a guy that's pretty good at what he does. Donald Trump
what he does.
has been a paragon of consistency.
That's good.
He's still dividing. He's still blaming. He's still belittling other people. He creates chaos, and then he sort of curates it. as if it were precious art. Let me say, not a single day goes by.
They like white guys if they're for Kamala, by the way. That's it. White guys for Kamala. That's all they like.
I've been gone for well over 23 years from the White House. Not a day goes by that I don't thank the Lord for the chance I had to serve and what it meant.
Oh, look.
And
look, TM Rozek is throwing dollar bills at me again on Rumble. Thank you for the Rumble. I got a $2 bill. Worth $2 in that G for that comment. Oh, thanks, Trish. I appreciate it so much. If you would like to send a Rumble rant, I will read them live. If you would like to send a super chat,
I love the job
we will accept.
So much.
If we make you laugh, if I make you laugh,
in the toughest
throw
times,
$1 at a brother.
Even on the darkest
me being
days,
that brother.
if you try
not a brother,
enough,
this particular
there was
brother.
Always
should be specific about that.
Good you could do for somebody else. Now, some days that's not easy to do.
You know,
gotta deal with all these
McDonald's, Doritos. It's the only way they think that they can. It's the only way they think that they can associate with the common man.
Kamala Harris.
By the way, they just showed on the TV. I'm watching the Democrat. I'm watching the Democrat live stream.
Who has the vision, the experience,
but they just cut to Hillary and Chelsea, who were in the gallery applauding, like they actually are enjoying this.
Count the eyes.
Don't count the lies. Do all Democrats speak in rhyme? Is that like a thing? Is that what they do? All Democrats have to speak in rhyme? Okay.
Vendettas, his vengeance, his complaints, his conspiracies. He's like one of those tenors opening up before he walks out on stage, like I did, trying to get his lungs open by singing me, 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 me.
And he made an opera joke. That one's going to fly. Faith B904, thank you so much for the $2 almost.
Every day will begin with
Faith
you,
B, I appreciate it.
You.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Facebook is down. Facebook's down.
We got to ask ourselves the questions if we're going to hire a president. Do you want to build a strong economy from the bottom up and the middle out?
Somebody wake me when he's through. Let me check the Facebook feed. I'm not sure why it's down. It seemed
the next 4 years
it was fine yesterday. It was fine the day before. Maybe it's because I said Hummer. Maybe they didn't like that. Let's see. I got. Oh,
Facebook's
out.
You're going to have a hard time believing this.
That's it. They're done.
So help me. I triple checked it.
Yeah, Facebook seems like it's done.
Since the end of the Cold War in 1989.
Well, there you go.
America has created about 51.
Let's see if I got some kind of message from Facebook or if they just arbitrarily decided to shut me down. Usually they don't tell me anything. They just shut it down.
Even I couldn't believe it.
But I'll see what it says.
What's the score? Democrats 50, Republicans 1.
What was he talking about? Posted it. Mark K was live, yeah, so I guess I'm not live anymore on Facebook. Let me go see if I can fix that real quick. And again, this is one of the reasons why
I'm glad
we stopped going live on Facebook, and I thought we could, I thought maybe give him a second chance, but let's, I just turned off LinkedIn, hang on.
On our team.
Let me go to, where's Facebook? Unable to connect, it says. Unable to connect.
But
offline.
Even the most limited of us and what we know about football.
Offline. Why does it say?
Healthcare.
This is why. Oh, what happened here?
That's why the Democrats put a limit on monthly payments for insulin.
Are we live everywhere else at least?
And a $2,000 a year out of
Yeah, it appears that we're still live. We're still live elsewhere.
And
so
they're trying to cover more drugs by bargaining for prices.
What happened here? Oops, sorry.
We need
you guys, sorry. I didn't realize when I was switching around. So you guys got to see all the behind the scenes stuff. Hopefully I wasn't checking my bank balance or anything like that.
I almost croaked in the first debate.
He almost what?
Of this election season when President Trump said
What is he
nobody
talking about?
respected America anymore.
Yeah, we're okay
Like they
everywhere
did
else. It was
when
just
he was
Facebook.
president.
I think we may actually be back.
Wait.
What? Oh,
And with a straight face.
what's he saying?
Look, you got to give him. He's a good actor. With a straight face, he cited as evidence of the respect that existed for us when he was there, the presidents of North Korea and Russia. I'd rather have the people who respect
Are we on
us
X?
now.
Let's see.
And
We are.
one
Oh
of
yeah,
the
we're up.
things-
It looks like we had some issue on X too, but it appears that
one
we're
of the
back
things
up
is
on X.
When you
So
send a signal to the other countries,
we apparently had a lot of
you
issues
want
on
them
X.
to know
So we'll see
whether
what
they
happens.
agree with you or not, at least that you're on the level. Here's where you are. And
It appears
what you
that we're
believe.
having some issues. I'm going to go ahead
What
and
are they supposed to make to these endless tributes
let me see.
to the late, great Hannibal Lecter?
The late great. All right, hang on. We'll get back to Bill Clinton in just a minute. You guys keep listening. Let me go see what the status is on all this stuff.
I mean,
we're going to go ahead and
President
shut
Obama
down
once
Facebook.
Gave me the great honor of
we'll
saying
leave
I was
X.
the explainer-in-chief.
We'll leave everyone else
I
again.
thought about it.
Maybe
and
you know what I'll do?
don't
I'm going to
know what
shut down
say.
the LinkedIn too. I think maybe what it is maybe I overloaded the stream without even realizing it. So, you know, if you go back there. Anyway, something else. I guess we'll
Like
we'll
Hakeem
wait for Bill.
Jeffries, I too want an America that's be solved. I want that. And that's the America Kamala Harris will lead.
You know, there comes a point when just because somebody was president, it doesn't mean they should just be able to ramble on as long as
She's
they
already
possibly
made her
can.
first presidential decision, and she knocked it out of the park.
Did she?
When she asked Governor Tim Walz to be her nominee for vice
Did
president.
she? The big question of the day today was who vetted Tim Walz and why are they still around? I saw Jack Posobiec chasing Eric Holder around.
They
Apparently it
used
was
to
his
say,
job. But Tim
When I was
Walz
a young man growing up in
is,
Arkansas,
if Bill
you do
Clinton
not
likes him,
have
you
to
know
be
it's a problem.
all broke out with brilliance. You just look at Tim Walz, listen to him, follow his record as a teacher, as a coach, in the National Guard,
All right, I'm
as a
going to,
congressman, where he was the only Democrat, save one,
I'm going to turn this down a little bit.
elected in that district in more than 100
All right,
years.
listen. So more exciting news.
And he stayed a long
Well,
time.
Bill Clinton's talking about, I don't even know what anymore.
then he became
More exciting news. We talked earlier
great
today
governor.
about going to Philadelphia for the debate. And I was looking at it. I was like, you know what? We could go to Philadelphia for the debate. We could do the show
the
live
crowd
there.
was a
Again, we're
crowd
all
shot.
independent. And so
Who had
what I did, I was talking to my wife
courage.
and I was talking to some friends of mine in Philadelphia. And I thought,
Among
and you know what's
his
another
fellow
great thing that we can do there is we can get a lot of the
Say
fun
we do
B-roll.
not need
We could do some man on the street
assault
stuff.
weapons
We could have maybe
available
another
to people
another get together. We could do all
who
kinds of
kill
fun
our
stuff.
kids in school.
So I thought to myself, all right, I should definitely go to Pennsylvania. The debate's coming up on September the 10th. Seems like there's going to be a lot of action in town. There's going to be like a lot of people there, probably a lot of folks with the campaign. I mean, I would imagine a lot of folks with the campaign. So I'm going to, I booked the trip. I booked it. It's done. And I'll give you the details here in just a minute.
Harris confronts an interesting dilemma.
Oh, what's the dilemma?
We're going to walk out of here feeling pretty good, I think. We've got energy. We are happy. We feel like a load's off our shoulders.
You do?
And we know we're just being asked to fight the same fight that the forces of progress have had to fight for 250 years.
The forces of progress.
In the face
That's
of
what they call
stiff and
socialism
often
these
violent
days? The forces of progress. That's an interesting turn of phrase.
opposition.
I've heard progressive, but now they call it the forces of
We have to
progress.
find a way to go forward together,
Yeah.
where we the people
We want to watch the debate together, right? That's our new mojo. So what I'll do is then we'll live stream the debate, and then all day Wednesday we'll do the show again. I'll go out. I'll go to Pat's and get a cheesesteak, just like J.D. Vance did. We'll talk to some folks in Pennsylvania. We'll let them know, hey, this is important. It's crucial that we win this state. And, RFK hopefully will be off the ballot. He'll have joined forces with Donald Trump. So we'll see how it goes. But it's going to be really exciting. So that's September the 10th. The trip is booked. It's happening. It's happening. I'm taking all your super chats and your Rumble rants, and I'm turning it into a plane ticket, and I'm flying to Philadelphia so that we can, because Philadelphia is important. Look, it's great to be in Florida. I love being in Florida. Florida is a great place to be. Don't get me wrong. It's warm. It's really warm, especially today. But the important work is elsewhere. This is not a swing state, and I could probably, I don't know how much good I could do, but it'd be exciting to go to the swing state and get the feel for it and talk to the folks there and see exactly what's going on. So we are going to. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go to, and by we I mean me. Oh, fun fact! If anybody knows any part-time camera people in Philadelphia, hit me up. Because I'm not traveling with a camera person. I'm not traveling with any producers or anything. I mean, I don't have any anymore. They all got other jobs. So, but I'm going to find like a freelance. That's what I need. I need a freelancer. I need a freelancer. Although in Philadelphia, I think they call them Liberty Lancers. Because Liberty Lancers, because like a freelance, it doesn't matter. Liberty Bell, that's kind of. So anyway, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a fun time in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania. Yes, somebody said.
America.
Guest Jem says you could meet up with Scott Pressler. That's a fantastic idea, Guest Jem. I'm gonna write to my buddy Scott Pressler. I'm gonna be like, dude, Philly, you, me, the hair, because he's got enough hair for both of us. Thank God. I don't have any. He's got more. He's got enough for like 3 people. Here's what he wants to tell us. Hang on.
We've seen more than one election slip away from us. When we thought.
See, he's talking about Hillary, by the way.
When people got distracted by phony issues.
He's talking about Hillary, by the way.
Or overconfident. This is a brutal, tough business. I want you to be happy. One of the reasons that President-to-be Harris is doing so well is that we're all so happy.
One of the reasons President Harris is doing so well is that we're all so happy.
You should never underestimate your adversary.
I don't think that's
and these people are
correct.
Really good.
But it's not like Monsters, Inc., where laughter fills the tank.
At triggering doubt. At triggering buyer's remorse.
You know what's really good at triggering doubt? The economy.
Obama said so eloquently last night.
Crime.
They are human, They're bound to make a mistake now and then.
That's their way of reminding you that Kamala's an idiot.
And so...
Look, they're going to make mistakes. A lot of mistakes. In fact, they've probably already made a bunch. But just go with it. Just go with it.
In New York and Arkansas and other places.
How much longer?
I
really need to get. I don't even have my watch on.
I urge you to talk to all your neighbors.
Oh, golly. I
urge you to meet people where they are.
I thought Doug Emhoff's speech was horrible.
I urge you
and I was right.
Not to demean them, but not to pretend you don't disagree with them.
I thought Barack Obama's speech was boring.
Treat them with respect.
And I was
just
right.
You'd like them to treat you.
They do. They've lost their dynamic speakers, huh? They've got a couple. This isn't one of them. Who's that guy?
Ask for their help and then follow our leader, Kamala, and ask them how can I help you.
Did he just call her Kamala?
We Democrats right now have a lot of hay in the barn.
Oh, no.
We've got massive achievements.
And I want to go roll in it. Who wants to go roll in the hay with me? Who wants to go roll? We got a lot of hay in the barn that needs to roll in it. Let's go. How about you, lady?
An election day that we have to navigate.
Sorry, I'm having too much fun.
And so...
This is horrible. I mean, it really is bad.
I want to say this from the bottom of my heart. I have no idea.
Clearly.
How many more of these I'll be able to come to.
Hopefully none.
I started in 76, and I've been to every one since.
Hopefully this is the last one.
But no. 72.
Oh!
Lord, I'm getting old.
Man.
But here's what I want you to know.
Uh-huh.
If you vote for this team, If you can get them elected
I think I know what's happening
and
here.
let them bring in this breath
I think
of
I know what
fresh
this
air,
is.
you will be proud of it for the rest of your life. Your children will be
1776.
proud of it. Your
Spicy
grandchildren
Dave.
will be proud of it.
The first one was in 1776. That gets I would give you a super chat, Spicy Dave, just for that one. Listen, I know what's happening here. I know what's happening.
Take it
Oh, he's screaming.
from a man who once had the honor to be called in this convention the man from hope.
God, he's still...
We need Kamala Harris,
Kamala.
the president of joy,
Kamala.
to lead us.
Kamala. Doug's like,
So-
will someone tell her it's Kamala? Kamala.
I'll be doing my part, you do yours. I'll see you when we're making a real joyful noise
Whoa.
when the votes are counted. God
Oh.
bless you. And God bless America.
Oh my God. Wow. Man, I hope that I'm so old one day that I can just stand on stage in front of thousands of people and mumble on without any point, without any kind of reason for being, and just say whatever comes to the top of my head and get all that kind of applause. That's my dream. My dream is to just wander out on a stage one day and just ramble forever and then get high-fived by a lady with blonde hair and another lady with blonde hair. Look, he's going to all the ladies. He's like, what's up, lady? You want to go roll in the hay? No, listen, I know what's happening here. I know what's happening here. They're petrified. Hold on, I got to turn the music down. Otherwise, I'm going to copyright. I'm probably going to get a copyright infringement now. Anyway, and listen, I know what the problem is. I know exactly what the problem is. The problem is Tim Walz, not a dynamic speaker. Tim Walz, not the best speaker in the world. Tim Walz has not been in front of this kind of an audience before. They're worried about how Tim Walz is going to do. So what they're doing is they're pulling Bill Clinton out. They're sticking... Oh, Mindy Kaling's back.
Amazing delegation from my home state,
She changed.
Massachusetts.
I thought she was from California.
I love you, Massachusetts. Everyone is always hating on us.
Okay, so anyway, what's happening is they're trying to lower the bar. They're trying to set the bar really, really low. So they roll old Bill Clinton out there, and they're like, don't even worry about a script. We'll turn the teleprompter off. You just say whatever it is that comes to your whatever your heart desires. And he said whatever that crap was. And now everyone's like, oh my God, that was horrible. That was the worst. So when Tim Walz comes out and speaks in a way that will probably be nerve-wracking, in a way that he's not accustomed to, when Tim Walz comes out and makes those mistakes the Obama said he would do, everyone will cheer and scream and be thrilled because at least it's not Bill Clinton talking anymore. Oh, for the love of Pete. It's Nancy Pelosi, everybody. All right, now we're in for a show. If you thought Bill Clinton was old and mumbly, you ain't heard nothing yet. Lick those lips, Nancy. Oh, somebody count how many times this woman licks her lips when she's speaking. Somebody count. Let's take bets. I say 42.
California.
I say 42.
Hello, Maryland.
Somebody keep track.
Hello, Democrats.
There's one.
On January 20th, 2021, with the inauguration of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, we established one of the most successful presidencies of modern times.
Oh, that is not
And
true.
we quickly proved that Democrats deliver. Millions of jobs, stronger infrastructure and rural broadband, a Biden child tax credit, rescuing human pensions,
What did she say?
honoring our veterans,
What did she do to
bold
human pensions?
climate action, lowering the cost of prescription drugs, all thanks to President Biden's patriotic vision of a fairer America, doing so with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Joe.
Why is she raising her right hand? Somebody swearing her in? Does she think, is she like having flashbacks of testimony on the Hill? What is this?
And I know that Vice President Harris is ready to take us to new heights. I've known Kamala Harris for decades.
Decades.
Personally, I know her a person of deep faith, which is reflected in her community care and service. Officially, she is a leader of strength.
By the way, Doug Emhoff
wisdom,
is her
and
community care and
eloquence on
service.
policy.
That's
most
her.
recently demonstrated fighting for women's right to choose.
Yeah. Abortion. There it is. Oh, there's another lick.
Politically,
There was
she
another
is
lip lick.
astute and strategic in winning
$dollars to get
Republicans,
through
and
this
independents
corpse.
to turn a red district
I appreciate
blue.
it. I appreciate it. Man, I wonder how much
He
money we're going to get
showed
for Tim
courage
Walz.
when he came to Congress in voting for the Affordable Care Act, meeting the needs of his constituents despite Republicans' lies and misrepresentation. When he went
There's
home,
another one. That was 4.
won the election, he returned to Congress. He fought for our Americans' heroes as the Democratic leader
Wait a
of the
minute.
Veterans Affairs Committee.
Is she introducing you?
Thank you, Tim.
No way. He's not coming out. He's not coming out till later. There's no way.
January 6th was a perilous moment
Oh,
for our
perilous.
democracy.
Of course it was. Yeah.
Never before had a president of the United States so brazenly assaulted the bedrock of our democracy, so gleefully embraced political violence, so willfully
He didn't-
betrayed his oth of office.
None of that actually happened, but
Let
okay.
us not forget who assaulted democracy on January 6th.
The Democrats.
He did.
Oh, I was thinking the Democrats.
But let us not forget who saved democracy that day.
The Republicans.
We did.
Oh, I was wrong again. Wait a minute.
And
Wasn't
thank
AOC
God
hiding in the
we
bathroom
had
or
a
something?
Democratic House of
Or
Representatives.
a closet?
Then.
Yeah, it was a closet.
We returned to the Capitol that very same night. We insisted on certifying the election results on the floors of the House and the Senate. And we demonstrated to America and to the world that American democracy prevailed.
It's a republic, but okay. Oh, wow, look at this. Ray
parable
Reich,
of January
61,
6th
$20, Rumble
reminds
Rant.
us that
Democrats
our
are definitely the
democracy
party
is
of
only as
evil
strong
and
as the
drunken
courage
clowns.
and commitment of
Evil
those entrusted
and
with its
drunken
care.
clowns. Come on,
And
focus.
we must choose leaders
Why isn't it
who
focusing?
believe in
There we
free
go.
and fair elections.
Thank you, Ray.
Who respect the peaceful
Appreciate
transfer
you
of
and your
power.
money. That's very generous.
The choice couldn't be clearer.
Couldn't be clearer.
Those leaders
Unlike
are
my
Vice
speech
President Harris
and my
Governor
vision.
Walz.
There's another lip lick. What are we up to? Anyone know? There's a lot of them tonight, huh?
When the sun rose on January 7th, as our national anthem declares, we gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Oh, she knows the words to the song? They are coming. Man,
Now,
I
in
am
this
shocked.
election, we are called
Utterly
upon
shocked.
to do the same.
Remember
to
that our flag is
stand
still there.
together, to reject autocracy, to choose democracy, and we will do so by electing a Democratic House with Hakeem Jeffries as Speaker of the House.
Oh, please, God, no. Please, God, no.
Electing a Democratic Senate.
Well, that's not gonna happen.
Electing Tim Walz as Vice President of the United States. And electing Kamala Harris as the President of the United States.
Again.
Onward to victory.
Oh, look at that. Slava Ukraina. Slava Ukraina. No, don't forget Slava Ukraina. How many licks does it take? Oh, she's done. Oh, she's out. Onward to victory, and she's out of there. She's like, I'm sobering up. I got to get backstage. Man, Pelosi did a fraction of what Bill
Please
Clinton did.
welcome Alexander Hudlin, Jasper Emhoff, and Arden Emhoff.
More Emhoffs? Who are all these Emhoffs? All right, we don't care about the Emhoffs. Sorry, Emhoffs. I mean, I'm sure you're lovely people and all that, but we heard enough. I heard enough from enough Emhoffs. Just what are you, Emhoff? Sorry. Sorry about that. Anyway, listen, that was exciting. So I heard a rumor, by the way. The rumor was that they're bringing out Oprah Winfrey tonight. And I guess they only do that, like, this RFK Jr. thing has got to have them totally just spooked. They've got to be like totally beside themselves. This RFK Jr. announcement coming on Friday. By the way, it's going to be in Phoenix, or not Phoenix, Scottsdale or Glendale. Which there's both, right? It's Phoenix, and then there's Scottsdale, and then there's Glendale. I don't know, it's one of the Dales. Or is it Chippendale? One of them. Anyway, they're going to have this joint announcement is what we hear. Donald Trump's doing a rally. He did a rally today in Asheboro, North Carolina, which, by the way, Donald Trump is hilarious to me. I had this photo that I took. I don't know if you saw it. So Donald Trump did his first outdoor rally today, and he did it in Asheboro, North Carolina. It was his first outdoor rally since Butler, Pennsylvania. The first time he's rallied outside since Butler, Pennsylvania. Something's definitely going on. The Twitter keeps resetting. It's just really, there's like 5,000, every 5 minutes, the Twitter keeps resetting. So something's going on. It looks like we're having an issue with the restream. I don't know what it is. But ever since Butler, Pennsylvania, Donald Trump has been indoors. And today he was in Asheboro, North Carolina. They had the first ever outdoor rally. And they had bulletproof glass. He was encased. Wasn't even really encased. It was in front and behind him. The sides were open, which was weird, I thought, because he actually got shot from the side. But they had snipers, and apparently they actually checked the area first. Anywho, so Donald Trump's there, and he's standing behind this bulletproof glass, and a woman passes out. And because it's hot, it's North Carolina, it's hot, it's in August. They've been standing outside for God knows how long. So a woman passes out, and Donald Trump says, "Doctor, we need a doctor." And of course, a doctor goes over, and they look at her and whatever, and she gets up apparently. And so then Donald Trump, who is standing behind bulletproof glass, walks off stage and into the crowd and gives this woman a hug, makes sure she's okay, high fives everybody, and goes back on stage. And I'm thinking to myself, why? What's the point of the glass? I get it. It's like the Secret Service. They must just, and again, I know that some Secret Service, there's a lot of Secret Service agents that are great. There are some that are not so great. But they must just be slamming their heads against walls because Donald Trump gets this bulletproof glass and walks off stage into the crowd to hug a woman. And I thought to myself, that's typical Donald Trump. You can't stop. You can take Trump out of or you can put Trump behind glass, but you can't. Well, it doesn't matter. That's just typical Donald. It was great. I took a picture. I was like, oh, that's great. That's only Donald Trump would do that. He'd stand behind bulletproof glass and then walk into the crowd in the middle of a rally just to hug some woman. Anyway, so we'll get back to the DNC here in just a minute. But somebody wrote on, I think it was Juanita Broderick. She said that with this RFK announcement, and it's happening right before our eyes, what Donald Trump is doing, and you really have to be an astute observer to see what's going on here. And I don't think that Kamala Harris, I don't think that Doug Emhoff, I don't think that, what's his name, Tim Walz, I don't think anyone on the Kamala Harris side, I don't think the Democrats are astutely observing anything. They've got their spin doctors, at least, not the people not the upfront people, not the faces of the Democrat Party. The operatives behind the scenes are probably panicking. They're probably pooping in their drawers. They're probably having a conniption fit with this RFK Jr. announcement coming on Friday. RFK Jr., who, by the way, has the full support of Joe Rogan, one of the top 5 podcasters in the world. I don't know if you know, the top 5 podcasters in the world are Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Mark Kaye, and somebody else. I don't know who's fifth. Ben Shapiro? No, the Call Her Daddy girl. What's her name? She cusses a lot. But anyway, so that's Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Mark Kaye, Call Her Daddy. Those are the only 5 podcasts you really need to pay attention to in the universe. But anyway, if you're an astute observer and you're watching, then you see what Donald Trump is doing. It's not just RFK Jr. It's RFK Jr. this week. It's RFK Jr. this week. He has taken RFK Jr. from the Libertarian wing or the Independent Party or the pseudo-Democrat Party. He's taken him out of the equation. Not only has he taken him out of the equation, not only did he get him to quit, but he brought him over to his side and will now be benefiting from all of his supporters. Every ounce of work that RFK did, every dollar that RFK Jr. has spent, every interview he did, every opinion piece that was written about him, the story about the bear in Central Park, all these things, all the publicity that he was able to get. It's a lot of work to campaign. You're out on the road all the time. You're doing phone calls. There's leaflets. There's all kinds of stuff. It's tough. It is tough work. And all that work is now not going to elect RFK Jr., it's going to elect Donald Trump. And Donald Trump did that. Donald Trump did more. He brought in Tulsi Gabbard, former Democrat, independent, the pinup girl, if you will, for the modern neocon movement. I mean, there's so many fanboys out there who just love Tulsi Gabbard. She's all right. But there's people they love her. They love the way she looks, the way she talks, the way she puts the smackdown on Democrats. They love that she's Hawaiian. They love that she's kind of conservative, but won't really commit. There's a whole slew of people that think Tulsi Gabbard should have been the vice presidential pick over J.D. Vance. That's how much people love Tulsi Gabbard. Donald Trump brought her in too. She's helping him with debate prep because she's the one who destroyed Kamala Harris and made her tuck tail and run all the way back home when she was running for president back in 2020. Thank you. I knew it was coming to me. It was I had to subtract by 4-year increments. And then that's not even all. You may remember last week or 2 weeks ago, there was the X space with Elon Musk. And what did Elon Musk say on that X space? He said, there should be some kind of government panel or some kind of government department that is in charge of government efficiency. And I would like to head that up. Let's see who's coming out real quick.
And the vice president's brother-in-law, Tony West.
No, thank you. So anyways, the vice president's brother-in-law. That's what we're down to? That's what we're down to?
5 years ago.
You couldn't get people, we're down to the vice president's brother-in-law? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the vice president's second cousin twice removed on her mother's side, who died of cancer. So it's, anyway. So he's got, they're putting together, Juanita Broderick called it the Avengers. Think about this. Think about what Donald Trump has now. He has himself as the central figure, the Iron Man. What's Iron Man's real name? What's his name? The Stark, Tony Stark. You got Donald Trump, billionaire. And he's in charge. He's large and he's charged. He's the Iron Man. He gets shot and he bounces right back like a true superhero. And he's surrounding himself with the super friends, the Avengers. He's got Vivek Ramaswamy. He's got Elon Musk. He's got Tulsi Gabbard. And now he's got RFK Jr. This guy is amassing some of the most powerful people, not just in the Republican Party, but in all the parties, except the Democrat Party. And it is an unstoppable force. And he did this before. He did this before with judges. When Donald Trump's a very smart man. He goes, look, I know you're going to vote for me, or I know if you want to vote for me, you kind of want to know what I'm going to do. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick Supreme Court judges from this list. I promise if the Supreme Court vacancy comes up, I'm going to pick it from this list. And guess what? Not one, not two, but 3 Supreme Court vacancies came up, and all 3 of them were on that list. Neil Gorsuch, beer-loving, what's his name? The guy that loves beer. I love beer. What's his name? I always forget. And Amy Coney Barrett. Kavanaugh. Thank you, Brett Kavanaugh. I like beer. Senator. That was to Kamala Harris, by the way. Fun fact. So you got Brett Kavanaugh, you got Neil Gorsuch, you got Amy Coney Barrett. Donald Trump, promises made, promises delivered. Promises made, promises kept. He said, here's the list of judges. Now, you know what he's doing? He's telling you these are the people that I'm going to look to help me run the government. You don't want vaccines. You don't trust vaccines. You think Dr. Fauci's a criminal. I'm going to take the guy who wrote the book, who basically debunked Dr. Fauci, and I'm going to put him in charge of the Department of Health and Human Services. Please welcome Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. What do you want, Vivek? You want a press secretary who's going to be knowledgeable and who's going to be able to verbally bat down the media at every turn? You want somebody who's going to take that room, that press room, and turn it into an information station and knock out all the fake news? You want somebody who's going to take Donald Trump's words and put them into a daily press briefing? I give you Press Secretary Vivek Ramaswamy. I don't know if that's the job he's going to get, but it's going to be something. Tulsi Gabbard, Elon Musk, they're going to be in the administration. They're going to be helping. And that is something that is incredible. What's Kamala Harris doing? Who's she got ready to go? Tim Walz, who lies about tacos and IVF and serving in the military? Tim Walz, who's put tampons in boys' bathrooms and also volunteered to lead up the LGBTQ club at the high school so he could hang out with high school LGBTQ people? That's the one. Tim Walz, who locked down the citizens of Minnesota and when they walked out of their homes, shot them with paintball guns. That's who she has on her. That's her dream team. You've got the Avengers on one side and you've got the Legion of Doom on the other. It's really kind of fantastic when you think of it that way. And it's really fantastic when you see what's going on. And I, for one, am super excited. And there's more to come. Byron Donalds has been just about everywhere. Byron Donalds is, every time you turn on the TV, there's Byron Donalds. He's singing Donald Trump's praises. Every time I turn on the TV, I go on the internet, I see clips from Byron Donalds. And Byron Donalds is killing it. Byron Donalds is a superstar of the Republican Party. He is smart. He's intellectual. He comes from the finance world, so he knows about economics. He knows of what he speaks when he talks about economics and how Kamala is going to destroy this country. He's cool. He's a cool guy. And rest assured, he's going to have some kind of position in Donald Trump's administration. Mike Walz, representative from right down here in District 6 of Florida. Mike Walz, former Green Beret, is the go-to when it comes to the military, is the go-to when it comes to defense. I have interviewed Mike Walz. I can't even tell you how many times, probably 10 times. I've interviewed him on the radio. I've interviewed him in person, talked to him on the phone. I've just sat down and asked him questions, over ice cream. We were at the RNC. Mike Walz is going to, if he's not Secretary of Defense, he will be somewhere in the Pentagon because that guy knows exactly who our threats are, where our threats are coming from. He knows exactly how to neutralize them. He has the ear of the president. He has the respect of the military, and he has the experience. Donald Trump's not stupid. Kash Patel, all of these folks who this time around, and you know what? It's interesting to me. I like that Donald Trump had 4 years off. I like that Donald Trump had 4 years off because think about it this way. Donald Trump rolls into office. Oh, there's Sessions, speak of the devil. Donald Trump rolls into office. He picks some losers like Jeff Sessions to be AG, who cowers when it comes time to protect the president. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to recuse myself and just exit stage left and let the impeachment begin. That was Jeff Sessions. Who was the guy, who was the oil baron he made Secretary of State? That was a big mistake. Anyway, he was back. There was this back and forth. And Donald Trump, he made some mistakes. He didn't pick from the cream of the crop. He was new when he got to Washington, D.C. He thought he could trust people that he turns out couldn't trust. And the people that he wanted to trust, the people that were going to do the right thing by him, the Democrats forced out. General Flynn, anyone? So what we see now is we have a Donald Trump who came in for 4 years, did what he had to do, learned what he had to learn, made relationships, and then in the following 4 years, saw people that he trusted, saw people he put in power, stab him in the back. Like that guy right there, the Honorable William Barr. He saw people that he put in power, that he gave a shot, turn around and drive the bus over him, and then put it in reverse and reverse over him, and then put it in drive and drive right back over him. Now, he knows. The most important thing that Donald Trump can do is surround himself with true loyalists, true Republicans and conservatives that he can trust. And he's had 4 years.
Senator Catherine Cortez Masto.
No, thank you. And he's had 4 years to figure out who those people are. And as a result, these next 4 years are going to be even better but he knows he's on a crunch too. He's got a clock. 4 years is all you get. Tick tock, tick tock. So Donald Trump's going to walk into the Oval Office in January 20th or 21st, whatever it is. He's going to stroll on in there. He's going to sit back down at the Resolute desk. He's going to say, it's good to be home. And he's going to start doing stuff. And he's going to tell everyone that works for him, we have 4 years. The clock is running. Go do it now. Nobody eats. Nobody sleeps. Nobody poops for 4 years. We got a lot to do. We've got to stop this war. We've got to build this wall. We've got to deport millions of illegals. We've got to get Putin on the phone and Zelensky on the phone. We've got to get our American hostages freed from Hamas. We've got to stop that war in Israel. We've got to bring peace back to the Middle East. We've got to fix the economy. We've got to bring down these interest rates. We've got to cut taxes again. We've got to make things affordable. We've got to renegotiate our trade deals. We've got to put the hammer to China. Oh, and also, we've got to prosecute all of these mother fathers who've been coming after me for years. We've got to purge the FBI. We've got to purge the CIA. We've got to purge the Justice Department. You know what he said today in Asheboro, North Carolina? When he was in Asheboro, North Carolina today, he stood on stage and he said the withdrawal from Afghanistan was the worst military blunder this country's ever seen. It was the most embarrassing military operation we've ever had. Not only did we leave $85 billion worth of equipment back there, not only did we abandon our equipment and our position and our air base at Bagram, which he said we never were going to, that was never part of the deal. Nobody ever said abandon Bagram Air Base. And nobody said do it in a haphazard way where ISIS-K is going to kill 13 American men and women who were bravely serving in the Marine Corps. So that wasn't the plan. Joe Biden botched it, as did his military and his generals. And so Donald Trump's standing there on stage in Asheboro, North Carolina today, and he says, on day one, I'm gonna demand the resignation of every military leader who was involved in that debacle in Afghanistan. He said, everyone. We've got some great generals in this country. They're not in them. Not them. They're not the good ones. I'm going to demand their resignation, and if they don't resign, they're going to be fired. And we know Donald Trump knows how to fire people because we watched 18 seasons of The Apprentice. This is where we are. Donald Trump is saying there has to be accountability. There is no accountability in Joe Biden's America. There's no accountability for the border. Alejandro Mayorkas is still, after being impeached by the House of Representatives, after letting countless millions of illegals through the border, Alejandro Mayorkas is still the Secretary of Homeland Security. I mean, that right there, I don't even know what to tell you. Alejandro Mayorkas is still the Homeland Security Secretary. No accountability in the Joe Biden White House. All of the generals still have their jobs. It's just insanity. And Donald Trump's going to fix all of that. And he's starting right now. Let's see who's
Josh Shapiro.
Oh, it's Josh Shapiro, the runner-up in the Veep Stakes. All right, let's turn the music down so I don't get any more copyright infringement notices. And let's see what Josh Shapiro has to say. Yeah, put that fist in the air. Thank you. I got through the pro-Palestinian protesters unscathed. And now here I am standing on stage.
2.5 centuries ago in Philadelphia, a band of patriots declared their independence from a king and set ourselves on a path of self-determination.
He knows that because he's from
Generation after
Pennsylvania.
generation has embraced that responsibility. That next chapter. Will we be a nation defined by chaos and extremism? Or will we choose a path of decency, honor, and continued progress?
You know, judging by the pro-Palestinian protesters, I'm guessing you're picking chaos.
Her entire career making progress. Donald Trump, a man with no guardrails, wants to take away our rights and our freedoms. And listen, while he cloaks himself in the blanket of freedom, what he's offering isn't freedom at all.
It's
because
interesting.
hear me on this.
Oh.
It's not freedom to tell our children what books they're allowed to read.
That's not at all what's happening.
It's not.
But that's okay.
And it's not freedom to tell women what they can do with their bodies.
Also not happening. You'd think a guy from Pennsylvania would understand
and hear me on this,
the Declaration of
it sure as
Independence,
hell
the
isn't
Constitution.
freedom to say you can go vote, but he gets to pick the winner. That's not freedom.
I don't understand. I don't know what he's talking about there.
You know what,
but,
Democrats? We are the party of real freedom. That's right.
The Democrat Party
the kind
is
of real
the party
freedom that
of
comes
real freedom.
when that child has a great public school with an awesome teacher because we believe in her future.
Is that happening?
Real freedom that comes when we invest in the police and in the community.
Whoa.
So that child can walk to and from school and get home safely to her mama.
Is that happening in Philadelphia? Is that happening in Chicago?
Real freedom that comes when she can join a union, marry who she loves, start a family on her own terms, breathe clean air, drink pure water, worship how she wants, and live a life of purpose where she is respected for who she is.
Wow. Man, I got to be honest with you. If that's what Pennsylvania's like, I'm so glad I'm going. I've heard differently, though. I've heard it's a lot. I've heard it's kind of a cesspool,
when
but
she
okay.
can look at Madam President and know that this is a nation where anything and everything is possible. That is real freedom, and that is what we are fighting for.
What do you think they offered him to come on stage and scream and yell like this, even though he was passed over simply because he's Jewish? What do you think he got?
Kamala and Tim's names may be on the ballot.
Curious
But it's
to
your
find out.
rights. It's our rights. It's our future and freedoms that are on the line. And you have the power to shape the future of this country. Just like our ancestors who fought for freedom on the battlefield and sat in at lunch counters so our kids could stand up.
Josh Shapiro's relatives sat in at a lunch counter?
Now
I
it's
didn't
on
know
us.
that. I didn't hear that story before.
It's on us, my friends, to organize in our communities and on our For You pages around three
that's a
basic
TikTok.
American principles.
Go TikTok is what
We
he's saying.
value our freedom. We cherish our democracy, and we love this country. And listen.
Except to build a border. We love this country. We just don't want to protect it from the onslaught of illegals. We love this country. We just don't want to protect it from nuclear war. We love this country. We just don't want to protect it from a Chinese takeover of our real estate and industry.
Hear me
But we
on
love
this. I
this
want you to know I have never been more hopeful.
Really?
Because I see in all of you the enduring promise of America. E pluribus unum, out of many one. It's not merely a motto from the past, it's our direction for the future.
E pluribus unum.
You see, you all give me hope, and you all have the power. So let's use that power. Let's do the hard work necessary to win this election and write the next chapter in our American story. So are you ready to protect our rights? Are you ready to secure our freedoms?
Do it.
And are you ready to defend our democracy?
Come on.
And are you ready to elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz? America, let's get to work.
All right, so I don't know why it's buffering so badly today. I don't know what's going on with that. I apologize. It could be just an overload of the system. It could be an overload of the system, you know.
Author, activist, and
Everybody's
youngest
online, I guess.
presidential inaugural poet in American history, Amanda Gorman.
Oh, it's the poet. It's the poet. She read a poem, again, because Democrats only speak in rhyme. They all speak in rhyme. She wrote a poem that she read at the inauguration. This woman she just works once every 4 years.
We gather at this hallowed place because we believe in the American dream.
Like it's empty inside?
We face a race that tests if this country we cherish shall perish from the earth, and if our earth shall perish from this country.
I knew it.
It falls to us to ensure that we do not fall for a people that cannot stand together, cannot stand at all. We or one family, regardless of religion, class, or color. For what defines a patriot is not just our love of liberty, but our love for one another.
I feel like Hakeem Jeffries stole her thunder with the rhyming. I feel like he already did the rhyming thing, so now this isn't really.
This is loud in our country's call because while we all love freedom, it is love that frees us all.
The fact that you could still make a living as a poet, I guess poet and activist, you have to do both.
Emancipates, making us greater than hate or vanity. That is the American promise, powerful and pure. Divided, we cannot endure, but united, we can endeavor to humanize our democracy and endear democracy to humanity.
Stretch, but okay. I'll give it to her. You know what I'm going to do, folks?
And make no mistake.
Yeah, I'm going to take this opportunity to remind you that if you really want, there's some poetry that I'd like to share with you. It's the poetry that I heard from one of the greatest American poets, Donald Trump, at the RNC.
America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, brighter, happier, stronger, freer, greater, and more united than ever before.
We loved that poem so much that we put it, where did we put it? I will show you. We put it everywhere. We put it on t-shirts and we put it on hoodies and we put it on, let me show you the tank top. Hang on. Let me show you the tank top right here real quick. Hang on. Let me go back here to me. And then where am I? There we go. I got to show you. This is cool. You're going to love this. So because again, we're not we're not Nike here. First of all, we're not made in China. But basically here's what happened. We always do what we can to, appease you guys. If you guys, we have people that say, hey, I love that t-shirt, but I'd like it in purple. And I'm like, okay, click, click, click. You can now have it in purple. And we had Casey Soup, who is a patriot in great standing. She requested the the Brighter Future t-shirt, but she wanted a tank top because she's got guns, right? She likes to show them off. So look, I'm going to show you this picture here. This is it. I said, okay, great. I will make you a tank top. And I did, and she ordered it. And look how fantastic that looks. Isn't that amazing? Thank you, Mark Kaye, for adding the tank to the Brighter collection. I told you I needed to show my guns. That is Casey Soup, Carlene Campbell in the Where Are Those Pickles group. So listen, and like I said, it's not just tank tops. Yeah, we've got, if you want the KC Soup tank top, just click here on Shop Collection, and you can go down here. Here it is in purple, black, red. We got all these fashion colors. If you want any of the other items, they're all right there, and you can get 10% off your entire order if you use the coupon code listed right up here, which is Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, because Kamala Harris doesn't want us saying Merry. How dare we say Merry Christmas? And this is, again, easy to find. Go to Mark Kaye Shop, MarkKayeshop.com. And that's where you're going to find all this stuff. And again, everything you purchase helps us continue doing what we're doing. It helps us continue doing this show every day. It helps us do these kinds of special events during the DNC. It helps us go to Philadelphia for the debate and see what's going on there. We're going to go to, and that's not it. We're going to go to Philadelphia. We're going to go, there's a huge boat parade down in Miami we're going to go to for Donald Trump in October. We're going to try, like I said, to get to some other places and some other, I want to get back to Ohio. There's patriots all over in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're going to try to be mobile, to be more mobile than we ever were before, so we can come out and see you guys while still doing the show, while still doing the podcast, while still doing all this great stuff. And again, go to MarkKayeshop.com. Anything you purchase will help us do just that, as will your generosity. I wanted to share this. We got a $47 Rumble rant from Spicy Dame for your Philly trip. Now back to YouTube. Rumble gives you more bang for your bucks. By the way, my BD, same as your wife. That's exciting. Happy birthday then, soon enough. But anyway, look at that. That's fantastic. We appreciate the $47 Rumble rant helping us with our trip to Philadelphia because Donald Trump will be the 47th president of the United States. So that's very exciting. And thank you to everybody who's supporting us on Rumble and YouTube. And again, just by watching, just by listening, just by downloading the podcast every day, that also helps. So anything you can, please keep coming back, sharing the stream, sharing the information that we share with everybody else, letting people know, hey, Mark Kaye's back, because a lot of people don't know. If you have a Facebook group that you're in, if you have other Catriots that you hang out with, if you have like-minded individuals who are like, I love America, but I just can't find any good programming on the podcasts that share my love for this country. I just can't find anything out there that really, wets my whistle when it comes to good old-fashioned conservative talk. Let them know that we have a podcast, that we've got YouTube channels, that we've got all this great stuff, and that we're constantly, I'll be honest with you, I've been working harder than ever before. It's really interesting, again, when you can just turn on we can just connect at any time. And there's other content to create. I'm working on my next book. There's so much to do. And but it's really exciting for our future, and we're all gonna get there together. We're all gonna save this republic, and we're gonna have a great time doing it. I don't know about you, but I'm having a blast. I hope you are too. And staying up late, I don't mind it so much. Like I said, the one thing about staying up late, and I talked about this yesterday, is you still have to get up at the same time. I still have to. There's 3 other people in my house, and their schedule doesn't change just because I'm in here watching Tim Walz with you guys till midnight. My schedule doesn't change. Their schedule doesn't change. I can stay up late, but I still got to get up early. But it's been worth it. And we've got tonight, we've got tomorrow night, and then we're done. Oh, I will say this though, Friday. Let me tell you about Friday. Friday, we have this big announcement from RFK Jr. It's scheduled at 2:00, I believe. 2:00. Let me make sure. Let me double check that. And I believe it's Eastern time. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. In fact, let me go Robert Kennedy. Here it is. Here, I'll pull this up real quick. Here's what's going on. So Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he's got this thing here. To address the nation, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. The address will be live streamed on all social channels. I'm going to address the nation this Friday. We know what this is all about. But what we're going to do is we're going to do an extended live stream. So on Friday, we'll start at noon, and we will go through till 2:00, and then we will continue as we all watch this address to the nation where Robert F. Kennedy withdraws from the election and throws his support behind Donald Trump. And we assume this will be a joint appearance with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Pardon me, now I have the hiccups. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and President Donald Trump, because there was a rally scheduled it's really kind of funny. Everyone saw right through it when he goes, I'm going to be in Glendale doing it. Oh, wow. Funny, fun. That's so funny because Donald Trump's going to be there too. So that's going to be going on Friday. It's going to be long, but it's going to be fun. And then I'll shut up for the weekend. Yeah, we'll do 3 hours on Friday or 3.5 hours, whatever it takes. It'll be like old times. But then I'm going to be quiet, and you're not going to hear from me again till like Monday. That's not true. That's a lie. You'll probably hear from me over the weekend. I'll be on Instagram. I'll be on TikTok. I'll be somewhere. But like I said, as far as the podcast goes, so that's going to be exciting. We've got tomorrow night, an extended Mark Kaye show in the evening. And then Friday, we're just going to go from like noon Eastern all the way through this Kennedy address to the nation, which happens at 2 p.m. And I'm totally stoked about that. So make some time, plan to join us. For those of you that always complain and go, man, I miss Mark Kaye for 3 hours a day. Well, guess what? On Friday, be careful what you wish for, folks. You just might get it. All right, someone's coming on stage. Let's see what we got. Oh, no, it's music. Oh, who is it? Somebody's coming out. I don't know who it is, but they're really excited about it. Oh, it's Oprah. Here's Oprah.
Who says you can't go home again?
Back in Chicago, brand new wig, looking good.
Watching the Obamas last night, that was some epic fire, wasn't it? Some epic fire.
Epic fire, EF.
We're now so fired up, we can't wait to leave here and do something.
Throwback. That was a throwback to last night. I get it. She's quoting. I see what she did there.
What we're going to do is elect Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States.
Oh, they had to. Man, they really are petrified about this RFK Jr. thing. They had to get Oprah. I don't know if Oprah holds.
I am so honored.
Does she still pull the same weight that she used to? And that's not a weight. That's not a.
What matters most
not a joke.
to
I'm
me,
just asking.
to you, and all of us Americans. Freedom. There are people who want you to see our country as a nation of us against them, people who want to scare you, who want to rule you.
Is she talking about the Obamas
people
again?
Who have you believe that books are dangerous and assault rifles are safe. That there's a right way to worship and a wrong way to love.
If you're
People
trained
who seek first to
on
divide
firearms, then they're safe.
and then to conquer. But here's the thing. When we stand together, it is impossible to conquer us.
Is it? I love the Texas delegation with their light-up cowboy hats.
In the words of an extraordinary American, the late Congressman John Lewis.
Oh, John Lewis.
He said, no matter what ship our ancestors arrived on, we are all in the same boat now. Congressman Lewis knew very well how far this country has come because he was one of the brilliant Americans who helped to get us where we are. But he also knew that the work is not done. The work will never be done because freedom isn't free. America is an ongoing project. It requires commitment. It requires being open to the hard work and the heart work of democracy.
The heart work?
And
She did not just say that.
It requires standing up to life's bullies.
The hard work and the heart work. That is just
I know this.
too disgusting.
I've lived in Mississippi,
Standing up to bullies.
in Tennessee, in Wisconsin, Maryland, Indiana, Florida, Hawaii, Colorado, California.
I'm rich.
And
Another billionaire. They just keep bringing these billionaires out on stage.
California.
J.B. Pritzker, Oprah
And
Winfrey.
sweet home Chicago, Illinois.
Man. What other billionaire? How many billionaires do they have left? Have they brought Bezos
have
out yet?
actually
I don't think so.
traveled this country from the redwood forests, love those redwoods, to the Gulf Stream waters. I've seen racism and sexism and income inequality.
I saw
and
it all last
division.
night when the Obamas were
I've not
talking.
only seen it, at times I've been on the receiving end of it. But more often than not, what I've witnessed and experienced are human beings, both conservative and liberal, who may not agree with each other, but who'd still help you in a heartbeat if you were in trouble. These are the people who make me proud to say that I am an American.
You know, I saw Donald Trump hug a woman who passed out at his rally
They
today.
are the best of America.
I've never seen
And
Kamala Harris
despite
do
what
that.
some would have you think, we are not so different from our neighbors.
Oh, she did not like being
When a house is
interrupted
on
by
fire,
USA.
we don't ask about the homeowner's race or religion. We don't wonder.
No, you just buy
who
it up
their
after
partner is
from the
or how
insurance
they
company,
voted.
dirt cheap.
No, we just try to do the best we can to save them. And if the place happens to belong to a childless cat lady, well, we try to get that cat out too. Because we are a country of people who work hard for the money. We wish our brothers and sisters well, and we pray for peace. We know all the old tricks and tropes that are designed to distract us from what actually matters.
Yes, it's race and abortion.
But we
Those
are
are the two big
beyond
topics.
ridiculous tweets
That's all they.
and lies and foolery. These are complicated times, people, and they require adult conversation.
I don't think anybody falls for the Oprah routine
And I
anymore.
welcome those conversations because civilized debate is vital to democracy, and it is the best of America. Now, over the last couple of nights,
Yeah.
we have all seen brave people
SSDW.
walk onto
Same
the stage
stuff, different
and
wig.
share their most private pain. Amanda and Josh, Caitlin, Hadley, they told us their stories of rape and incest and near-death experiences from having the state deny them the abortion that their doctor explained was medically necessary. And they've told us these things for one reason, and that is to keep what happened to them from happening to anybody else. Because if you do not have autonomy over this, if you cannot control when and how you choose to bring your children into this world and how they are raised and supported, there is no American dream.
They are very into this I don't even know, fundamentalist way of speaking.
The women and men who are battling to keep us from going back to a time of desperation and shame.
She's talking about the Obamas again.
Stone cold fear.
Bill Clinton.
They are the new freedom fighters. And make no mistake,
They're
they
babbling.
are the best of America.
Did she just call them babblers? Did she say battling or babbling? I thought she may have said
I
babbling.
want to talk now about somebody who's not with us tonight.
Kamala
Tessie
Harris.
Prevost Williams
Oh.
was born in New Orleans not long after the Supreme Court ruled that segregated public schools were unconstitutional. That was in 1954, same year I was born. But I didn't have to head to first grade at the all-white McDonough 19 school with a U.S. Marshal by my side. Like
Lynn
Tessie
King, thank
did.
you so much.
And when I got to
much
school,
generosity, we appreciate it.
the building
1999
wasn't
super
empty,
chat. God bless you, Mark. Thank
like
you for
it
all you
was
do. Trump,
for
yay.
Tessie. You see,
Lynn, thank you.
Rather than allowing
So appreciative.
Madonna to be integrated, parents pulled their kids out of the school, leaving only Tessie
I know, Oprah's
and
nothing
two
to sneeze
other
at.
little black girls, Gail Etienne and Leona Tate, to sit in a classroom
What is she talking
with the
about?
windows papered over to block snipers from attacking their 6-year-old bodies.
Gosh, she's getting so...
Tessie passed away 6 weeks ago. And I tell this story to honor her tonight because she like Ruby Bridges and her friends, Leona and Gail, the New Orleans Four they were called. They broke barriers and they paid dearly for it. But it was the grace and guts and courage of women like Tessie Prevost Williams that paved the way for another young girl
Kamala Harris.
who 9 years later
Oh.
became part of the second class to integrate the public schools in Berkeley, California. And it seems to me that at school and at home, somebody did a beautiful job of showing this young girl how to challenge the people at the top and empower the people at the bottom. They showed her how to look at the world and
I hear
see
she
not
was the
just
person at
what
the bottom.
is, but what can be. They instilled in her a passion for justice and freedom and the glorious fighting spirit necessary to pursue that passion. And soon, and very soon,
Oh, this woman's crying.
soon and very soon,
Oprah made her cry.
we're going to be teaching our daughters and sons about how this child of an Indian mother and a Jamaican father, two idealistic, energetic immigrants,
Immigrants, yeah, we got it. We heard you the first time.
how
You know what?
this child grew up to become the 47th president of the United States.
You know what's so interesting to me?
That is the best of America.
The only qualification she mentioned was that she's the child of immigrants and Indian and Jamaican. She didn't say anything about her intelligence or her ability to do the job or her creativity or her spirit. It's all this woman. She's a woman and she's a minority and she's
Let me
the
tell
child
you
of
this.
immigrants. So she should be
This
president.
election isn't about us and them. It's about you and me and what we want our futures to look like. There are choices to be made when we cast our ballot. Now, there's a certain candidate that says if we just go to the polls this one time, that we'll never have to do it again. Well, you know what? You're looking at a registered independent who's proud to vote again and again and again because I'm an American and that's what Americans do.
Again, she's voting 3 times? I'm sorry. Somebody call...
Voting is the best of America.
Somebody call the poll watchers. Oprah's voting 3 times.
I have always, since I was eligible to vote, I've always voted my values. And that is what is needed in this election now more than ever. So I'm calling on all you independents and all you undecideds. You know this is true. You know I'm telling you the truth. That values and character matter most of all. In leadership and in life.
What are Kamala's values?
And more than anything.
We don't know. She doesn't speak to the press.
You know this is true.
No.
That decency and respect are on the ballot in 2024.
Are decency and respect on the ballot? Are they? I thought it was the economy and our safety in our country.
And
you snowflakes got to put your decency and respect argument away.
Common sense. Common sense tells you that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz can give us decency and respect.
Yikes.
They're the ones that give it to us.
Yikes. If Tim Walz is decent and respectful.
We are Americans.
Yikes.
We are Americans. Let us choose loyalty to the Constitution over loyalty to any individual.
That's what we're doing.
Because that's the best of America. And let us choose optimism over cynicism. Because that's the best of America.
You can't argue you're protecting the Constitution when you're trying to tear it down.
Let us choose common sense over nonsense.
Common sense over nonsense.
Because that's the best of America.
And then she's going to go.
Let us choose the sweet promise of tomorrow over the bitter return to yesterday. We won't go back. We won't be set back, pushed back, bullied back, kicked back. We're not going back. Not going back.
Oh, this is hilarious. So
not going back. So let us choose. Let us choose truth. Let us choose honor. And let us choose joy. Because that's the best of America. But more than anything else, let us choose freedom. Why? Because that's the best of America. We're all Americans, and together, let's all choose Kamala Harris.
This is great.
Thank you, Chicago. Thank you, America.
This is a great. This was just posted on X. It's a letter from Oprah Winfrey to Donald Trump. Let me read it to you. Donald, I received the book. I have to tell you, your comments made me a little weepy. It's one
Here's what
thing.
I want people to know about Tim.
Hold on. It's one thing to say, it's one thing to try and live a life of integrity, still another to have people like yourself notice. Thank you, Oprah. P.S. Too bad we're not running for office. What a team. And this is on official Oprah Winfrey stationery, and it is dated and signed by Oprah Winfrey herself. And this is from a book I guess called Letters to Trump. Oh man, you know it sucks when you have to look like an idiot just to help Kamala Harris.
Engaging.
But anyway,
He always seems like that person that's got the never-ending gas tank. Who can
these
keep
are the
going.
when I decided to come out as gay.
yeah, these are the kids that Tim Walz.
Tim Walz was the faculty advisor.
Yeah, he was the faculty
saw
advisor.
him not only as a teacher, but a mentor and a leader.
Mr. Walz was a really big part in helping build this community, and he's a big reason why I became a teacher myself. It was inspiring being in his classroom.
Here he comes.
Please welcome Maryland Governor Wes Moore.
Oh, it's Wes Moore? Wait a minute. Is Wes Moore introducing Tim Walz? A little random. Is that what's happening?
Thank you. Thank you. On March 26th, at 1:30 in the morning, a container ship, the length of 3 football fields,
3 football fields,
slammed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore.
Oh, this is Pete Buttigieg.
And the bridge collapsed.
Is this Pete Buttigieg?
A port that drives 13% of our state's economy was now closed.
Also, people died.
Thousands of workers were hours away from waking up and realizing they no longer had a job. 6 Marylanders who had been on the bridge in the middle of the night fixing potholes lost their lives. And one of the first phone calls that I got that morning started with these 3 words. Gov, it's Kamala. She said, I know you spoke to the president, and I want you to know we are here with you every step of the way.
I don't know if that would reassure me if I were him, but okay.
Now,
like, could you not be?
I joined the Army when I was 17. In fact, I was too young to sign the paperwork. I had to ask my mom to sign the paperwork for me because I don't have bone spurs.
Mother. They love the bone spurs joke.
I led soldiers in combat in Afghanistan.
Unlike Tim Walz.
And my training taught me that you never learn anything about anybody when times are easy. You learn everything you need to know about somebody when times are hard and when the temperature gets turned up. And America, I saw that Kamala Harris is the right one to lead in this moment firsthand.
Why? Because she called you when a bridge... I mean, I would imagine that's her job to call you. She did her job.
With the
Good
Almighty
job,
God's
Joe.
grace,
you answered all the questions.
we brought closure to the families of the 6 victims. And while many said it could take 11 months to reopen the port of Baltimore, we got it done in 11 weeks. Because that is the story of America. We are a nation of patriots who serve when the mission is hard and who serve when the destination is uncertain. And I know our history is imperfect. The unevenness of the American journey has made some skeptical. But I'm not asking you to give up your skepticism. I just want that skepticism to be your companion and not your captor.
I want your skepticism to be your companion.
And I'm asking
and not your
that
captor.
you join us in the work.
So he's talking to people who don't want to vote for Kamala because they don't think she could do the job.
You're not wanted.
And he's saying you're letting your skepticism be your captor.
And loving your country does not mean lying about its history.
Maybe you're letting your skepticism protect you from something horrible, like Kamala Harris.
Making America great means saying the ambitions of this country would be incomplete without your help.
Also, once again, they're going to go over.
It's the legacy
Fun fact.
of those 6 workers
Prepare for it.
who fixed potholes on a bridge while we slept, who were born in a different country, but who knew that America was big enough for them too.
You know, Republicans aren't against immigration. They're against illegal immigration.
It's the journey of a man raised by a remarkable immigrant single mom, a man who felt handcuffs on his wrist at 11 years old, who now stands before you as the 63rd governor of Maryland and the first black governor in the history of our state.
What did he get arrested for when he was 11? You know, I'm noticing a theme here. There's a lot of single moms in these stories.
It's the story. It's the story
of a man named Brady
who defended our
who
freedom
was busy
and had
with 3
Maryland's
boys
back
of
when
his
we
own.
needed it most, and now
They were
MVP,
4 men.
We've got your
living
back
all
as well.
together, but they were all alone.
That's right. It's my fellow veteran, my brother, and the next Vice President of the United States, Tim Walz.
Fellow veteran. I like how you threw that in there.
And now, Tim knows that in the military, you count the days towards mission completion.
They're really bringing up the military?
So guess what, y'all?
The days toward mission completion?
We have got 75 days and a wake-up until Election Day.
They're actually trying to say he knows about counting the days till mission completion or retirement, really.
What
Is
Americans can do when
you
the
count the
pressure
days
is on.
till retirement.
75 days
Deployment
and a wake-up
is in
for us to
91
show
days. My
that
retirement
true
is in
patriots do
90
not whine
days.
and complain.
That's right.
We put our heads down and we get to work. 75 days and a wake-up to build a future that those who came before us hope for, and those who come after us that they deserve. And 75 days and a wake-up
You
to
guys
elect
make me
a
laugh.
leader who is willing
LOL.
to believe in the best of us, and that leader is Kamala Harris, the next president of the United States. Thank you, God bless you, and let's leave no one behind.
All right, we have 6 minutes. 6 minutes for Tim Walz. Can we? Oh, yeah. Can we get Tim Walz in and out in 6 minutes? I doubt it. I think we're going to go behind. I think
Please
we're going to go
welcome
behind.
former South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg.
I forgot about this guy. I totally forgot about Pete Buttigieg. Well, I guess we're going late now. Oh, no.
Thank you. Good evening, Democrats.
Wait a minute.
Thank you, Chicago.
Wait a minute. You're telling me.
Here's a sentence I never thought I'd hear myself saying. I'm Pete Buttigieg, and you might recognize me from Fox News.
Yikes. Are you telling me that the Democrats really had Pete Buttigieg come before Tim Walz?
Anywhere.
Thank you.
In service of a good cause, and friends, we gather in a very good cause, electing Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, the next president and vice president of the United States.
Do you think they asked Tim Walz, hey, who would you like to introduce you? And he goes, ooh, that Buttigieg is kind of cute.
The choice could not be clearer. Donald Trump rants about law and order.
Yes, he does.
As if he wasn't a convicted criminal running against a prosecutor.
You know, just because you're
As
a
if we were
prosecutor
gonna
doesn't
forget
make you a
that
good
crime
person.
was higher on his watch. Talks about the forgotten man, hoping we'll forget that the only economic promise that he actually kept was to cut taxes for the rich.
I don't know. I guess
Don't
everyone's
even get me
rich.
started on his new running mate.
Oh, this has got to be good.
At least Mike Pence was polite.
What a...
J.D. Vance is one of those guys who thinks if you don't live the life that he has in mind for you, then you don't count.
Kind of like Democrats.
Someone who said that if you don't have kids, you have, quote, no physical commitment to the future of this country.
I mean...
You know, Senator,
if you
when
think
I
about
deployed
it...
to Afghanistan, I didn't have kids then. Many of the men and women who went outside the wire with me didn't have kids either. But let me tell you, our commitment to the future of this country was pretty damn physical. Choosing a guy like J.D. Vance to be America's next vice president sends a message.
Sure does.
And the message is that they are doubling down on negativity and grievance.
What does Tim
Committing
Walz
to a
say?
concept of campaigning best summed up in one word: darkness. Darkness is what they are selling. The thing is,
That's
I
racist,
just
by the way.
don't believe that America today is in the market for darkness.
Fun fact.
I believe America is ready
Hold
for
on.
a better kind of politics. Yes, politics at its worst can be ugly, crushing, demeaning, but it doesn't have to be. At its best, politics can be empowering, uplifting. It can even be a kind of soulcraft.
Soulcraft, like
My
Minecraft.
faith teaches me that the world isn't made up of good people and bad people, but rather that each of us is capable of good and bad things. And I believe leaders matter because of what they bring out in each of us, the good or the bad.
What has Joe Biden
Right
brought
now,
out
the
in
other
you?
side is appealing to
Remember
what
East
is
Palestine?
smallest within you. They're telling you that greatness comes from going back to the past.
They avoided East
telling you that
Palestine, Ohio
anyone
like the
different from you
plague. J.D.
is a
Vance was
threat.
there in
They're
rubbers,
telling you that your neighbor
boots,
or nephew
up to his
or
knees,
daughter
taking
who
soil
disagrees with you politically
Pete
isn't just
Buttigieg
wrong,
had to get
but is
shamed into
now
going there.
the enemy. I believe in a better politics.
This is one of the
that
darkest
finds us
speeches, by
at
the
our
way, we've
most
heard.
Decent and open and brave. The kind of politics that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are offering. And as you have felt these many days, that kind of politics also just feels better to be part of.
I don't want politics that feels better. I want politics that makes me wealthier
There
and
is
safer
joy
and shuts
in it,
down our border.
As well
That's what makes me
as
feel
power.
better.
And if all of that
Politics of
sounds
feeling.
naive, let me insist that I have come to this view not by way of idealism, but by way of experience.
This is the Democrat Party.
Not
We
just the
feel
experience
better.
of
Stop
my
feeling us.
unlikely career.
Just stop
Someone
feeling
like
us.
me, serving in Indiana, serving in Washington, serving in uniform. I'm thinking of something much more basic. I'm thinking of dinner time at our house in Michigan. When the dog is barking and the air fryer is beeping and the mac and cheese is boiling over, and it feels like all the political negotiating experience in the world is not enough for me to get our 3-year-old son and our 3-year-old daughter to just wash their hands and sit at the table. It's the part of our day when politics seems the most distant.
What's he making
And yet
in the air fryer?
makeup of our kitchen table, the existence of my family, is just one
Sorry, my wife is
example of
texting me.
something that was literally impossible. As recently as 25 years ago, when an anxious teenager growing up in Indiana wondered if he would ever find belonging in this world. This kind of life went from impossible to possible, from possible to real, from real to almost ordinary in less than half a lifetime.
Hold on, I have to delete
But
something.
that didn't just happen. It was brought about through idealism and courage.
Back to
through
the mac and cheese
organizing
boiling
and
over.
persuation and storytelling.
As
And
far
yes,
as I know,
through
if the air
politics,
fryer is beeping, just
the
let
right
it beep. Go
kind
tend to
of
the mac and
politics.
cheese. That the air fryer,
The kind of
if it's
politics
beeping,
that
it
can
means
make an
it's stopped.
impossible dream
You're not
into
gonna.
an everyday
Nothing's gonna happen.
reality. I don't presume to know what it's like.
If you can't make mac and cheese,
but I know
without it boiling over, are we
as
supposed
I
to
am
trust
standing
you
here that
with our
everything in it,
infrastructure? I don't know
the
about
bills
that.
you pay at that table, the shape of the family that sits there, the fears and the dreams that you talk about late into the night there. All of it compels us to demand more from our politics than a rerun of some TV wrestling death match.
A rerun of some TV wrestling death match.
So this November, we get to choose. We get to choose our president. We get to choose our policies, but most of all, we will choose a better politics.
Wait, he's voting for Donald Trump?
Politics that calls us to our better selves and offers us a better everyday.
Is choosing a better politics a draw?
Is what Kamala Harris
Is that what people want?
Represents.
Is anyone around there going, you know what? I know the economy is in the toilet. I know that we have an immigration problem, but you know what I really want is a better politics.
Darkness once and for all.
We need a real. Yeah. I get it. There's war. I get it. There's inflation. Eggs are $9 a dozen. That's all well and good. But I really want a better form of politics.
So let's go win this. Thank you, Democrats. Thank you.
God, they really lack in the speaking department. How did any of these people get elected? How did any of these people get elected? Oh no. Here they go. They're
seeing Governor Walz going to Congress and then becoming governor. I see the guy that was a first sergeant. I see a guy that's full of energy, always busy. And like he says, you get enough time to sleep when you're dead.
I first met Governor Walz and Congressman Walz when I was transitioning out of the Marine Corps, going back to school. He really wanted to know what the experience was of those that were actually using the GI Bill and how it could be improved. It seemed to be a continuation of focus on improving the lives of veterans.
Governor Walz in our unit always would say his catchphrase was, "We'll get it done," and we always did.
The way I've seen him carry himself over the years in Congress and the way he works for veterans.
There's only two
there's
veterans?
No excuse making, there's no scapegoating.
That wanted to come
it's
forward
just
for this video?
Governor Walz has been that way and always will
There's
be
only
that
two?
way.
Having Governor Walz on the House Veteran Affairs Committee was instrumental in getting the post-9/11 GI Bill not only
Two
introduced,
veterans?
but also
That's all you could get?
When Governor Walz wants change, it'll happen. Back to the Guard. We'll get it done.
Oh my gosh. Only two veterans came forward for the video.
Please welcome EGOT-winning, multi-platinum artist and activist, John Legend.
Oh no.
And Queen of Percussion, Sheila E.
Oh no. Are they singing? Oh no. Why are they performing? It's 11:04. Ain't nobody got time for Sheila E. and John Legend? Get Walz out here. Oh, see, this is bad. So what happened was they canceled on James Taylor earlier. Because what happened was James Taylor was supposed to perform, I guess it was on night one, on the very first night of the convention. And that was the night that Joe Biden was speaking. And that's the night that they went so late. I mean, they went so long. It was, what was it, 12:30 when we wrapped up? So I guess what they did was they cut James Taylor. And James Taylor, I heard, was aggravated, as you would imagine. You fly out there and you're probably, you're flying out there on your own dime. You're not getting paid for these. Or maybe you are. Actually, I don't even know. I don't know at all. But James Taylor's promised an opportunity to play for the president at his big farewell gala at the DNC. And so he goes out there on his own dime and he's getting ready to perform, I've seen fire, I've seen rain, whatever it is, and who knows. And all of a sudden they look at him and they go, we're running late. You got to go. Well, we're going to cut your set. And he was so mad. He was so mad. In fact, I saw a tweet today that said, James Taylor's the Taylor that can't shake it off, which I thought was very funny. And so that's basically what's going on. So my wife just wrote to me and said, what is happening? I know. It's John Legend and Sheila E., which, by the way, Sheila E. was popular when Bill Clinton was president. That's how old this is. So anyway, it doesn't matter. So I guess what they were going to do is they're like, look, we have to keep all the other performances. We can't annoy any of the other performers. We cannot cancel on John Legend. In fact, given the choice between John Legend's performance and Tim Walz speaking, I'm pretty sure that they would cut Tim Walz from his own speech. I'm pretty sure they would cut him from his own speech just so they would make room for John Legend, because it's John Legend. What John Legend seems so nice, but his wife is a witch, says Patriot Lindsay. Well, I'm not going to argue with you, because I mean I have no rebuttal to that. Chrissy Teigen, I think that's her name. You know what's so funny? What's that song that he made? The one that all of you, all of me loves all of you. He wrote that for her, which is very sweet. You know, when you have a wife that you love, you want to write her songs. I write my wife's songs. They're more gimmicky and kitschy. But anyway, he has this song that he wrote for her, and it became a mega hit, and he won Grammys, and he made millions of dollars, and everybody started playing it at their wedding. It became like the #1 wedding song. All of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your crevices. Wait, something like that. Anyway, and this song was about her. And I saw them interviewed once. He played the song and she was there. And the interview, I think it was 60 Minutes. The interviewer said to her, do you get a feeling? You know, what's it feel like knowing that song's written for you? Does he sing it to you still? And she goes, you know, the first couple times it was all right, but now it's just that song, that overplayed song. I was just like, what? I go, he wrote this song for you and it became one of the biggest songs in history. It's one of the biggest songs in pop recording history. And you're just like, I'm over it, I think was what she said. I was like, oh my God. Jimmy Buffett never got over Margaritaville. And he didn't even write that for anyone. He just wrote that because he was drunk one day and hurt his foot. It is just, anyway. So again, I'm not going to argue with that statement. Oh, Mindy Kaling's back. Let's see. Maybe they're going to bring on Tim Walz finally. Let's see.
To protect our freedoms, the freedom to read whatever books you want, the freedom to work one job and afford your rent. And Kamala Harris and Tim Walz will protect your freedom to start a family on your own terms.
That's abortion.
And if you ask me, that is something worth fighting for. So guys, let's do it. It's time. Let's nominate the next Vice President of the United States, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. And to take us there, please welcome to the stage Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar.
Oh, this is going to be rich. Another failed presidential candidate. Amy Klobuchar should be annoyed because she lasted way longer than Kamala Harris in 2020.
That was a warm-up act. On behalf of the great state of Minnesota, where purple reigns.
By the way, on Fox News, Peter Ducey
I stand before
is
you
talking to the lady with the trash can full of signs.
President
And they have the signs that they're distributing. He goes, these people, their job is to walk around and distribute whatever the sign du jour is.
We trust a coach.
Whatever sign we're waving tonight, whether it says We Heart Joe or
27
or Barack and Michelle, whatever.
In Minnesota, we trust a hunter who has stood in a deer stand in 10-degree weather. In Minnesota, we trust a candidate who has made a viral video on how to change a burnt-out headlight.
In Minnesota, we trust a guy who puts tampons in the boys' room.
But in Minnesota, we love a dad in plaid.
Oh, yikes. This is just getting so bad.
So Tim and I go way back. He taught
I wish
high
you'd both go
school
way back.
right down the road
Please
from
go
where my husband
way
John
back
grew
to
up.
Minnesota. Man,
My mother-in-law
Rumble's on fire.
even
We got almost
brought
1,000
Tim
people on
and
Rumble.
Gwen
Hello, Rumble.
a Parmesan chicken dinner when their son was born.
You know, these folksy stories.
That's what we do in America.
These
we
folksy
look out
stories
for
are
our
just,
neighbors.
I don't know, man.
Tim has been doing that his whole life, on the farm and in the factory.
I think he's been peeping
with
on his
his
neighbors.
Students and his fellow service members. And the truth is, that matters. Who better to take on the price of gas than a guy who could pull over to help change your tire? Who better?
What does one thing have to do with the other? I
I
can change a tire.
In uniform.
I don't know that I can bring down the cost of
Who
fuel.
better to find common ground than a guy with Midwestern common sense?
None of this is correlating. Common sense and common ground makes no sense.
Knows how to level the playing field.
Oh my God.
And a former public school teacher knows how to school the likes of J.D. Vance.
Oh. Better writers. Better writers. That's all I ask.
What you've done.
Call your Hollywood
your life
friends.
Matters.
Get the good ones.
And what you do with power matters.
Get the ones that
too.
write for
Tim
the big
has
people.
Delivered paid leave.
Kevin Hart, Chris
school
Rock.
Lunches,
get those writers.
And the biggest tax cut in Minnesota history.
They've got
a Democrat.
They've got the Nickelodeon
from a red
writers.
district in a purple state. Tim has brought Minnesota together. And together with Vice President Kamala Harris, I know he will do the same for our nation.
Is he going to do it sometime tonight? Because
America, there is so much that we share, so much that connects us. Way up north in Minnesota.
How many times are you going to say Minnesota?
Out of Lake Itasca.
Oh.
Flows the Mississippi River. It starts small and it grows wider. It flows down to Wisconsin and to Iowa. It goes down to Illinois.
This is like a geography lesson?
Missouri.
Oh.
It goes to Kentucky.
She's gonna
and Tennessee.
Oh my God. Yes,
It
goes to
Arkansas.
Yeah, we know. What's
and
next?
It goes way down to Mississippi.
And don't forget Louisiana.
And then it goes all the way down to New Orleans, Louisiana.
That's right. She got it.
Where the spirit of our nation's resilience abounds.
She got all the states.
So let us commit.
It's like someone made her a
and
bet.
now
They're like, hey, I bet you can't name all the states that the Mississippi River's borders.
Of our divides to
But
get
you
to a
can.
higher ground. And let us join together to elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
Is this guy coming out? I thought she was supposed to introduce him. Oh no, is his wife going to introduce him? Please God, no. I hate when the wives introduce people.
Please welcome Ben Ingman from Minnesota.
Who the hell is Ben Ingman from Minnesota? Here's the thing, if you have to say from Minnesota at the end of it, you know they're basically nobody important.
Tim Walz is the kind of guy you can count on to push you out of a snowbank. I know this.
So hire him for
Tim
AAA.
Walz has pushed me out of a snowbank.
Why?
I grew up next door to the Walzes
get him a
in
record.
Mankato. Mr. Walz was also my geography teacher and my coach. Not for high school football, but for 7th grade basketball and track. So what was a high school football coach doing, coaching 7th grade basketball and track? Well, there was a kid in the high school who couldn't afford to pay for lunch, and he ran up a lot of debt. And Tim and Gwen decided they'd help pay it off. They started calling around the district to see if there were any positions they could fill to make a little extra money, and that's how he wound up coaching us 7th graders.
Wait, they paid their 7th grade basketball
That's right.
coaches?
Coach Walz got us excited about what we might achieve
I
together.
coached for free. In fact, I had to
He
pay.
believed in us, and he helped us believe in each other. And his leadership stuck. That track team went on to win a state title, just like the football team. That's right. Speaking of which, come on out, Scarlets.
Oh, no.
Yeah!
All right. These guys look way too old to be wearing those uniforms. This is not the current team. I just want to make sure this is not the current team. This is the team that Tim Walz, I guess, coached to the championship. And now they're all squeezed into their old jerseys. This guy has tucked his jersey into his trousers. They both did. They're all They're all wearing khakis and tucking their football jerseys into their khakis. That is... Okay, there's a guy in jeans. That guy's like, screw it, I'm wearing the polo. This guy's wearing he's wearing a collared shirt underneath his football jersey. Because his wife probably made him do that. His wife's like, you cannot go on there wearing your jersey. He's like, but all the other dudes are wearing their jerseys. Come on. And she's like, you have to at least wear a collared shirt. And he's like, I'm going to look ridiculous.
You know,
this is a
all
bad
this got
movie.
me thinking.
This is an Adam Sandler movie that we're watching right now.
The kinds of leaders we need. We want the people in charge to be genuine, compassionate, and trustworthy. The thing is, there are people in our neighborhoods who fit this description.
These guys won a championship
kind of
20 years ago, and they've been talking about it over beers every Friday since.
Pay for their lunches by bringing teams together.
These are the guys that the song Glory Days was written about.
And when we're stuck in the snow, they push us out.
Yeah.
Well, in my neighborhood, we always wish that people like that would run for office. Well, in my neighborhood, someone like that did run for office. And he's going to be a wonderful vice president. Thanks very much.
Is he ever coming out? I mean, this is nice and all, but is he coming out? Oh, here we go.
Out here in the wide open spaces, it's his wife. We are reminded of the values we share.
It's Gwen.
A commitment to community,
They brought out the wives.
and standing up for what's right. Tim Walz grew up in a small town in Nebraska where he spent summers working the family farm. There were just 24 students in his graduating class.
Butter.
His dad
Butte.
served during the Korean War,
I thought it said butter,
and
it
that
said
meant a
Butte.
lot to Tim. So he enlisted right after his 17th birthday and served 24 years in the National Guard, rising to Command Sergeant Major.
Oh,
Tim went to college on the GI Bill and became a social studies teacher. That's where Tim and I met. We shared a classroom with a divider right down the middle. His classroom was a lot louder than mine.
He divided
but I
her
could
right
hear how engaged his students were.
Sorry.
Tim taught for over 15 years.
Keep my
And
mouth.
he coached
It's getting
football,
late. The later it gets,
helping
the
lead the team to a state championship after 0 wins just a few years before. Tim taught them how to believe in themselves and that we're all in this together. When one of our students started the school's Gay Straight Alliance, Tim agreed to serve as faculty advisor because he knew how impactful it would be to have a football coach involved.
Tim jumped at the chance.
He inspired his students, and he changed lives.
He is just so joyful in everything that he does, but I think also standing up for, what he believes to be right, stands up to bullies.
Then, Tim's students inspired him to run for Congress in southern Minnesota. Tim spent a lot of time working with Republicans, fighting to help farmers and expanding veterans' benefits. Whether it was in Congress or as governor, his focus has always been helping working people like those he grew up with. That's why he fought for the largest tax cut in Minnesota state history.
But Tim Walz was there for small businesses like ours.
With the urging of Governor Walz, we were able to pass the Alex Smith Insulin Affordability Act, and it has saved lives in Minnesota.
With Tim as governor, Minnesota is one of the best places to raise a family and one of the best states for business. Tim's a lifelong hunter and gun owner.
Lifelong hunter and gun owner. What was he shooting?
But after the Sandy Hook school shooting, he knew that we had to do something. So he's fought for background checks and red flag laws. But of all the things he's done, Tim loves being a dad. We struggled to have kids, and fertility treatments made it possible. There's a reason our daughter is named Hope. Hope and Gus mean the world to us.
Governor Walz
They're rhyming
making
again.
good on a promise to his son and family yesterday by getting them a puppy.
Then we're gonna go get some food, corn dog,
I'm vegetarian.
turkey then, and then,
Turkey's meat.
not in Minnesota, turkey special.
He's as at home on a farm, a fishing boat, a football field, or a factory floor as he is on the floor of Congress. Tim's commitment to service all comes back to the values we grew up with. Love your country, help your neighbor, and fight for what's right. Because that's what America is all about.
2 middle-class kids
One, a daughter of Oakland, California. The other, a son of the Nebraska Plains, only in America. Is it possible for them together to make it all the way to the White House?
Here comes Gwen.
Please welcome the Democratic nominee for Vice President.
Oh, Gwen doesn't make a live
Governor
appearance.
Tim Walz.
She only wants. Oh no, wait, I gotta mute it. Oh no, it's too late. There's the really flamboyant guy. Look, he's praying to those people up there, and he's shaking, and he's just his heartfelt. Oh, and you guys. I love you, and I'm touching my belly. My heart and my belly are both full. Wow. Oh, look, they got the Coach Walz, it says. All right, kill the music, because I'm going to get copyright strikes. Coach Walz.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, here we go. Let's see how this goes down. By the way, 3 weeks ago, none of these people had a clue who this guy was. All these people with these sticks, they didn't know
President Harris.
They didn't know Coach Walz from a hole in the walls.
Thanks for putting your trust in me and for inviting me to be part of this incredible campaign. And a thank you to President Joe Biden for 4 years of strong, historic leadership.
I'll argue strong, but historic I'll give you. Oh, Gwen's already crying.
It's the honor of my life to accept your nomination for Vice President of the United States. We're all here tonight for one beautiful, simple reason.
What is that?
We love this country.
Oh.
So thank you to all of you here in Chicago and all of you watching at home tonight. Thank you for your passion. Thank you for your determination. And most of all, thank you for bringing the joy to this fight.
There's the joy. There's the joy.
Now, I grew up in Butte, Nebraska.
Oh, it's
a town of 400 people. I had 24 kids in my high school class.
How many nuts could he store in those things?
And none of them went to Yale. But I'll tell you what, growing up in a small town like that, you learn how to take care of each other.
He's going to lose the Yale vote,
family
by the way.
down the road, they may not think like you do. They may not pray like you do. They may not love like you do. But they're your neighbors. And you look out for them, and they look out for you. Everybody belongs, and everybody has a responsibility to contribute. For me,
but they
I
don't.
was serving in the Army National Guard.
Oh, they're tripling down.
2 days after my 17th birthday, and I proudly wore our nation's uniform for 24 years.
And then when the bullets started flying, I said,
dad,
see ya.
A Korean War era Army veteran, died of lung cancer a couple years later.
Not a dead mom.
Behind a mountain of medical debt.
Not a dead mom.
Thank God for Social Security survivor benefits. And thank God for the GI Bill that allowed my dad and me to go to college, and millions of other Americans. Eventually, like the rest of my family, I fell in love with teaching.
Hey, Tim, go make me a sandwich.
3 out of 4 of us married teachers. I wound up teaching social studies and coaching football
and hanging out with the gay kids.
Mankato West High School. Go Scarlets. We ran We ran a 44 defense.
Yeah.
We played through to the whistle on every single play, and we even won a state championship.
So what's the story? Was he coach
Never
or assistant
closed the
coach?
yearbook, people. But it was
I'm still
those
fuzzy
players
on
and
that
my
one.
students who inspired me to run for Congress. They saw in me what I had hoped to instill in them, a commitment to the common good, an understanding that we're all in this together, and the belief that a
Oh, it's like
single
High School
person
Musical.
can make a real difference for their neighbors.
Together.
So there I was, a 40-something high school teacher with little kids,
Probably right.
zero political experience.
Hey, at least he can make a
and
sandwich.
no money.
Pete Buttigieg
running
can't
in
even
a
make mac
deep
and
red
cheese.
District. But you know what? Never underestimate a public school teacher. Never. I represented my neighbors in Congress for 12 years, and I learned an awful lot. I
like a
learned
horn?
how to
I hear
work
like the
across the
Ricola.
aisle
There's
on
like a
issues
Ricola
like
horn.
growing the rural
Ooh.
economies and taking care of veterans. And I learned how to compromise without compromising my values. Then I came back to serve as governor, and we got right to work making a difference in our neighbors' lives. We cut taxes for the middle class. We passed paid family and medical leave. We invested in fighting crime and affordable housing.
Fighting crime, that's what
We
you want to
cut
hang your
the
hat
cost
on?
of prescription drugs
Minneapolis?
and help people escape the kind of medical debt that
Fighting
nearly
crime.
sank my family.
Except for that whole George Floyd BLM riots
And we
thing.
made sure that every kid in our state gets breakfast and lunch every day.
Yeah, bring back the billionaires.
So while other states were banning books from their schools, we were banishing hunger from ours. We also protected reproductive freedom because in Minnesota, we respect our neighbors and the personal choices they make. And even if we wouldn't make those same choices for ourselves, we've got a golden rule. Mind your own damn business.
Except during COVID. Then I'll mind your business.
And that includes IVF and fertility treatments. And this is personal for Gwen and I.
As of this weekend, when we all found out that you had
If you've never
IVF.
experienced the hell that is infertility, I guarantee you know somebody who has. And I can remember praying each night for a phone call. The pit in your stomach when the phone would ring, and the absolute agony when we heard the treatments hadn't worked. It took Gwen and I years, but we had access to fertility treatments. And when our daughter was born, we named her Hope. Hope, Gus, and Gwen, you are my entire world, and I love you.
Oh. Gus is very emotional.
I'm letting you in on how we started a family because this is a big part about what this election is about. Freedom. When Republicans use the word freedom, they mean that the government should be free to invade your doctor's office. Corporations, free to pollute your air and water. And banks, free to take advantage of customers.
That's not at all what they're talking about.
But when we Democrats talk about freedom, we mean the freedom to make a better life for yourself and the people that you love. Freedom to make your own healthcare decisions. And yeah, your kids' freedom to go to school without worrying about being shot dead in the hall. Look, I know guns. I'm a veteran. I'm a hunter. And I was a better shot than most Republicans in Congress, and I got the trophies to prove it.
He's talking about the COVID
But I'm
shot,
also
by the
a
way.
dad.
He's talking about the COVID
I believe
shot.
in the Second Amendment, but I also believe our first responsibility is to keep our kids safe. That's what this is all about. The responsibility we have to our kids, to each other, and to the future that we're building together, in which everyone is free to build the kind of life they want.
This guy's like an HR nightmare waiting to happen.
But not everyone has that same sense of responsibility. Some folks just don't understand what it takes to be a good neighbor.
Yeah.
Take Donald Trump and J.D. Vance.
Oh. I bet they'd be great neighbors.
Their Project 2025 will make things much, much harder for people who are just trying to live their lives. They spent a lot of time pretending they know nothing about this. But look, I coached high school football long enough to know, and trust me on this, when somebody takes the time to draw up a playbook, they're going to use it. And we know if these guys get back in the White House,
the only place you can
they'll
find
start
that
jacking
playbook
up the costs on the middle
is
class.
on Kamala Harris's
They'll
website.
Repeal the Affordable Care Act. They'll gut Social Security and Medicare. It's
not going to happen.
And they will ban abortion across this country, with or without Congress.
How? How
Here's
do you
the
ban
thing.
abortion across the country
It's an
with
agenda
or without Congress?
nobody asked for. It's an agenda that serves nobody except the richest and the most extreme amongst us.
That is weird, man.
And it's an agenda
that is weird.
that
And they
does
call us a cult.
nothing for our neighbors in need.
Now I'm scared.
Is it weird? Absolutely. Absolutely. But it's also wrong. And
This
it's
is weird.
dangerous. It's not just me saying so. It's Trump's own people. They were with him for 4 years. They're warning us that the next 4 years will be much, much worse. You know, when I was teaching every year, we'd elect a student body president. And you know what? Those teenagers could teach Donald Trump a hell of a lot about what a leader is.
Who's Donald Trump?
Leaders don't spend all day insulting people and blaming others. Leaders do the work. So I don't know about you. I'm ready to turn the page on these guys. So go ahead. Say it with me. We're not going back.
Man, it is a cult, isn't it?
We've got something better to offer the American people. It starts with our candidate, Kamala Harris.
Donald.
From her first day as a prosecutor, as a district attorney, as an attorney general, as a United States senator,
That's
and
not
then our
hyperbole.
vice president, she's fought on the side of the American people. She's taken on the predators and fraudsters.
The predators?
She's taken down the transnational gangs, and she stood up to powerful corporate interests.
What?
She
She
has
took
never
down the
hesitated
transnational
to reach
gangs?
across that aisle if it meant improving your lives. And she's always done it with energy, with passion, and with joy. Folks,
They're really hanging their hat on the joy thing, huh?
we've got a chance to make Kamala Harris the next president of the United States.
A slim chance. A slim chance. A chance that grows
But I
slimmer
think we
by
owe
the
it
day.
to the American people to tell them exactly what she'd do as president before we ask them for their votes.
Oh, we've been telling
So
them.
here, this is the part, clip and save it and send it to your undecided relatives so they know. If you're a middle-class family or a family trying to get into the middle class, Kamala Harris is going to cut your taxes. If you're getting squeezed by prescription drug prices, Kamala Harris is going to take on Big Pharma. If you're hoping to buy a home, Kamala Harris is going to help make it more affordable.
How? How?
And no matter who you are, Kamala Harris is going to stand up and fight for your freedom to live the life that you want to lead.
How?
Because that's what we want for ourselves, and it's what we want for our neighbors. You know,
this
you
is
might
the
not know
Mr.
it, but I haven't
Rogers
given
of
a lot of big
candidates.
speeches
It's
like
all
this.
about neighbors. It's all about joy.
But I have given a lot of pep talks. So let me Let me finish with this, team.
Oh, he's finishing. Oh, thank God.
It's the fourth quarter. We're down a field goal, but we're on offense and we've got the ball. We're driving down the field. And boy, do we have the right team. Kamala Harris is tough. Kamala Harris is experienced, and Kamala Harris is ready. Our job for everyone watching is to get in the trenches and do the blocking and tackling. 1 inch at a time, 1 yard at a time, 1 phone call at a time, 1 door knock at a time, 1 $5 donation at a time.
They used to ask for $1, but because of inflation, now they ask for a $5 donation.
We got 76
It was always $1,
days.
$1, but now it's $5.
There'll be time to sleep when you're dead. We're going to leave it on the field.
I'm going to be honest with you. If Kamala's president,
how we'll keep moving
we'll all be dead a
forward.
lot sooner.
That's how we'll turn the page on Donald Trump. That's how we'll build a country where workers come first. Healthcare and housing are human rights.
It sounded to me like it was Trump, Trump, Trump.
And the government stays the hell out of your bedroom. That's how we make America a place where no child is left hungry, where no community is left behind, where nobody gets told they don't belong. That's how we're gonna fight. And as the next president of the United States always says, when we fight, thank you. God bless.
Oh, he didn't say God bless America. He just said God bless. He didn't say God bless America because he's a Democrat and America's low on their list of priorities. All right, that was loud. It was exactly what I thought it would be. It was shorter than I thought it would be. So I'll give him points on length. Thought the length was perfect. Any more, and it would have been overkill. Any less, and well, okay, it would have been better with if it was. But it doesn't matter. But look, I mean, again, it was all platitudes. It was all attacking the. It's so funny how these guys are supposed to be so joyous and so happy and getting rid of the darkness. But all I heard was them talk about darkness and insult. We're neighborly, we're joyous, and we are not the party of hate. But let me tell you about J.D. Vance and Donald Trump. Those are the worst people you've ever seen in your entire life. Listen. Real quick, I'm going to wrap it up and going to go to bed. We're going to be live tomorrow, noon to 1. Then we're going to do this one more time for Kamala Harris, who gets the nomination tomorrow night. And then on Friday, the extended show as RFK Jr. withdraws from the race and throws the weight of his entire political machine behind Donald Trump, which will be very exciting. We'll do an extended 3-hour show on Friday. We're headed to Philadelphia for the debate, which should be exciting. So much great stuff going on, folks. It's great. And I just checked Polymarket, which I'll go over tomorrow. But every single night of the DNC, Kamala Harris's chances of winning this election go down. Every single time somebody comes out and talks and tells you what the Democrats' plan for America is, more and more people go, yeah, we don't really want that. And I imagine tonight was exactly the same. All right, I'm shutting up now. We've heard enough. Thank you for all your super chats. Thank you for all the Rumble rants. Thanks for the likes and the shares and the smashing of the buttons and all that stuff. I love you guys. I'll see